It's another episode of Left Side Heavy the podcast presented by Blue Wire, episode 142. And Hayden, I don't know what man this is that hacked into our Zoom call, but it seems like a familiar face.
Oh yeah.
Ian McNaughton, welcome back to the show, my friend. How we doing?
Great. It's been way too long. Long story short, I changed phone numbers and I totally forgot to give you guys both my new number. And that's why when we were talking the other day, it's like, oh, yeah, right. My bad. My B.
I
I'm
literally
sorry.
texted you. I was like, "Hey man, you haven't been answering my texts. You good? Like checking up on you?" And then over Instagram, you're like, "Oh, I got a new phone number." And I'm like, "Oh, maybe that's why he's been completely ignoring me the past 2 months."
Hates us.
Oh,
I don't, I just took a new job. I moved to a different country and, that's how it goes sometimes.
yeah, you're with the Silver Tips. You've been with the Silver Tips for a bit, but now you've kind of committed to that. How's that going?
It's busy. I'm doing a job that I didn't go to school for and I had no idea about before I took it up in September. I'm now learning game ops, which is hilarious.
What does that consist of?
Everything that's not on the ice, I have like a bit of a hand in.
Oh, okay.
And even on the ice, I do like run the intermission activities and all that.
Gotcha.
Not bad.
I love
Yeah,
that for you.
it's cool. It's a lot. It's cool. I even got a badge. I got a you'll appreciate this, Jevin. I got a Reebok Edge lanyard with my badge.
That is a throwback. Any old NHL jersey, you'll see that Reebok logo on it.
Well, and the other like I'm kind of jealous because one of my coworkers, she has a BC hockey lanyard. She's not Canadian or anything, but she has a BC hockey lanyard, and I don't. I have the Reebok Edge. It's like I actually played in BC hockey. I played in Pee Wee at BC hockey. I should have the BC hockey lanyard. It's just
Yeah.
small stuff like that I just have a gripe with. That's all.
I was about to say that's like a super lax bro thing to have would be like a BC, like BC, Team BC lacrosse lanyard is a super lax bro thing to have. You know what I'm saying? So like a BC hockey thing is like very close, but not quite the same.
Well, and like my running joke of like all lax bros drive Jeeps, right? She doesn't
Yeah.
drive a Jeep, so like she's not quite there, but it's like
She's close.
You want to be
close. Like
you want to be a lax bro, grow a mullet, drive a Jeep, wear a snapback backwards, and then only wear socks and slides.
yeah,
Easy.
Lax
all the time,
bro.
all the time. Like
Yeah.
it's not even like it's raining and it's cold, but no, you're still in socks and slides
And
and you're fine.
always have a bag of spits within
Mm,
10
Dis-
meters of you at all times.
disgusting.
and
No.
some dip and some dip.
Yeah.
Oh,
But spits, Hayden, that's a hot take, my friend. Spits are unbelievably good.
wait. No, I was definitely thinking dip as spits.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But
You
then
All
ever
right.
you ever
Ian then said dip, and I'm like, I'm
Wait.
fucking up right now.
Yeah.
no the real
Dash
sickos
one.
are the real sickos are like the people who combine the two.
How can you multitask that way?
How?
There's way too much
How?
concentration.
I know. Well, it's like that are like gum. Like there are people who do like the gum and the spits, and it's
One
like
at a
no,
time.
you want to like I yeah. I can't multitask. I'm a guy. I can't do that.
How do you have your spits? Are you a handful guy, throw them all in one at a
Yeah,
time?
Yeah, you
handful.
gotta go handful.
Do you like handful and then keep the bitten ones on one side, or do you spit out each one individually?
I try to go on the side. It's kind of like cherries almost, right? When you have like a cherry and you're trying to get the pit out, and
Yeah.
then this might be a little not suitable for work. This might be a little bit graphic for some, like just thinking about where your cherry pit's going. But you try and get the pit out, you spit out the pit, and then you eat the rest of the cherry. It's kind of like that with seeds, with spit.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Well, your Silvertips just made a fat trade in the last few
Yeah,
days. Sent
yeah.
Owen Zellweger on his way and got a huge return. Huge return. What do you think about that?
I can't comment on it too much because I do work for the team, but it's a lot. Um,
He's so official now. Jeez, look at this guy.
Yeah, PR nightmare.
I
Can't get
can
anything out of this guy.
I want. Here's the thing. I will say this. I may or may not have had a plan to do like an autograph sesh this week because we need some like the guys like team signed stuff for giveaways and such.
Oh, he
Oh.
screwed it up.
Well, I didn't all know who was gonna be there, but we had stuff planned, and now it's like, yeah, you know what? There's enough guys who are on the move, and we're bringing in. I think we'll just wait a few more days here. We'll just we're not gonna rush anything here.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure.
But I
For
mean,
sure, bud.
Olin, like I have nothing but like Olin and Hofer both there. Like it's also Ryan Hofer. Both of
Mhm.
those guys were there when I first started with the team, and like Olin's gonna be in the NHL next year.
Yeah.
Like he's back good. Hope
Dude.
I really love Hope as a 20-year-old. Like kid's a
Yeah.
beauty. Love him. Yeah.
Dude, Zellweger was so good at the World Juniors. Like he was such a smooth skater. Like I didn't watch much of him. And then this tournament is like I heard all the hype about surrounding him when he got drafted by Anaheim. And then like Scott was pumping his tires. He was like, I'm really excited about this guy. You were pumping his tires as well. Like there was so much hype surrounding him. And then once the World Juniors started, I saw his name on the lineup and I'm like, this is going to be really entertaining. And he was just nothing short of like fun to watch.
Well, and the other like he's a second round pick,
Yeah.
which is kind of surprising because like the dude, like I don't know if it's because he was in Edmonton or not Edmonton because he was in Everett and Everett's not the biggest hockey market or whatever. Like Zell should be a first round player. Like he's just that special and he's that great of a player.
I think like a few years down the line, it's going to be a thing where it's like NHL posts about
Steal.
him, like steal of 2020, like 2021 draft kind of thing. And it's going to be like, Zell. It's kind of like what everyone's talking about Jason Robertson. He was drafted like 39th overall. And people were like, how was this guy not taken? Like David Pastrnak was like 25th overall. Now he's like one of the best goal scorers in the league. And like
Yeah.
Jake Virtanen went 21 picks before David Pastrnak, and they've had complete opposite careers, right? That's probably what it's going to be like in a few years. You look back and Zellweger was 37th overall. What?
Yeah.
What was people seeing to make him pass on him? So I think it's probably going to be that kind of situation.
And I mean, I've watched him for years, so like I guess I'm kind of used to it as well. Like I already know what to expect with Zell. Like I know
Yeah.
like oh, did you see Zell do this? It's like, yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm used to it. Like
That's just an average Tuesday night for him.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, I want to talk a little bit about the World Juniors. I was going to talk about the Canucks first, but since we're talking about Zellweger and how he did at the World Juniors, we may as well continue with the World Juniors. Me and Hayden, when we last recorded, we were just coming off a overtime win, or Canada was just coming off an overtime win versus Slovakia. And their next matchup was against the States. And a lot happened in that game. There's obviously a lot of hype going in to the States Canadian matchup. Typically, we either see that matchup on Boxing Day or New Year's Eve, but this tournament, we got him on neither one of those days. But it was a matchup that it was a tale of two tapes, I would say. USA was all over them in the first period, or at least the first 15 minutes. It looked like Canada didn't know how to play hockey. They went up 2-0, and then Bedard got us back in it with a goal in the first period. And then with the help of Stankoven, who's also going to be a fucking stud in the NHL. He's going to be one of those small guys that's just going to tear it up. He ties it at 2. Fantilli, that beauty from Michigan, he puts us up 3-2, 3 unanswered goals, but then this is when the tricky situations came in. The goalie interference on Blake. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it seemed as if the States player, Blake, was just making an innocent play. He was in the crease, which is kind of frowned upon in international play. But when you have the puck and you're going for the puck, you're allowed to do whatever you want. I guess not whatever you want, but you can be in the crease. He was in the crease. He made a hockey move, but he bumped Milic when he was trying to slide over. Blake scores. Canada challenges. Goal just allowed for goalie interference. Now, Ian or Hayden, what did you guys think about it? Did you think it was worthy of getting called back? Did Canada get lucky? Should it have been tied 3-3? What do you guys think?
Personally, I know we were texting about it back and forth when it happened, and I was just kind of like, yeah, no, this is probably going to count, and it's probably going to be tie game, and that's how it's going to go. And then when it was overturned, like, I know you messaged me back and were like, I'm generally surprised by that. And I was like, oh, that's a break for Canada. Huge.
Yeah.
I mean, I like again, the international rules are different than the NHL. I'm not the expert on the international rules, but like I guess it's goalie interference. You get your butt in the way of the goalkeeper trying to make the save. He's got his Kyle Lowry ass, just
Yeah. Just
stuck
caked
out
up.
there. Yeah, double cheeked up, right? And that's the problem is that he, too many squats. I thought it was a goal. I would have called it a goal, but the international community says otherwise.
Yeah. I genuinely thought that, like, if you're making a hockey play, which in my opinion, I think he was, then I think it's just a matter of like shit luck for the goalie. You got bumped when he had all the right to do what he was doing. I can kind of see both sides of it. I personally thought it should have been a goal though, and it should have been 3-3 with Canada going on the PK. But like, I guess I can see it as well because he did make contact with him, and it almost seemed like he was maybe going out of his way to do it. But I also don't think that it was an intentional contact that the States player made. I think it was just like he hit, like Blake hit Milic's body, which didn't impact his slide, but also like he may have been able to get over a bit farther to the left if he wasn't bumped. Right? It's like it's such a gray area with some international calls because of how soft they can call them. But I personally thought it should have been a goal if I were a ref. But I'm just a guy in Poco talking about it on over Zoom. So who am I?
As we always are. Classic.
Who am I? But anyways, it stays 3-2, and then Canada basically goes on a run. And the States thought they cut the deficit to 1, making it 4-3, but yet again, another goalie interference call, which I think is 100% goalie interference. I think
Yeah, the
the
second
one
one
was
was definitely goalie interference. That's
clear
no
as
doubt.
day. Ask any hockey fan, you know that you can't push the puck in when pushing the goalie in as well. Clear call. I knew it right away that I was getting called back. It just looks bad that there was 2 goalie interferences called back in the same game against the same team.
Mm-hmm.
But the second one was clear as day.
Well, and the other reason was like, oh, the ref didn't blow the whistle or whatever, which I guess, but like it is under the goalie's pad. Like you don't just shove the goalie's pad into the net.
Doesn't matter if the whistle goes or not. You just can't do that.
Yeah, like you just like it's just unacceptable.
Yeah. So the States players were going crazy, saying that it was rigged and all that. Canada's lucky. Say what you want. I totally understand that the 3-3 goal to tie it up. It could have been a completely different game going on that point forward, being 3-3. Canada could have been down 4-3. Right? But I mean, it was just the fucking way it goes, I guess. But USA goes on to play Sweden in the bronze medal game, which was a shit show of a game.
Mm-hmm.
Ian, as a guy from down south of the border, what did you think of the States versus Sweden?
I was trying to pay attention to that while I was working, and it was not easy. You walk like so basically at our office we have like a main TV at the front, and
Yeah.
like I go up to the front and it's like fucking every time you left there was another goal. Like you were gone for like 5 minutes and it's just another goal, and then it's gets to the point where it's like, oh, we're going to overtime.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, this is cool. This is fun. And then the U.S. wins it, and it's just like, all right, that's you take it how you can get it. A win's a win.
Yeah, I was watching it for a little bit, and it was so back and forth because I was coming home from school and I saw it on TV at Brentwood, and oh,
Oh,
once again,
camera.
I saw like the big screen at Brentwood, and I was like, oh, it's 3-1 Sweden, all right, or 3-1 States. I get home and it's 5-5, and I'm like, I was on the train for like 30 minutes, and it's 4 goals have been scored. Okay. And then I keep watching, and there's a goal every fucking like minute and a half, and it's 7-7 going into overtime. I'm like, what is happening? All these goals are awful that are going in. These
Oh,
goals,
terrible goals. Like just awful hot.
it was just like the goalies couldn't stop a beach ball. And then the States end up winning it, and it was like kind of underwhelming because I'm like, any shot probably would have gone in against these guys. But
You and I could have scored against these goalies.
100%. 100%. It was unbelievable. But States get bronze while Sweden once again chokes at an international tournament, not medaling. What's new? They've only won 1 gold medal in 40 years at the World Juniors.
And then they have like I can't
Tough.
remember what the insane like streak was of
They
just
were like
undefeated.
they're like 58-0 in prelims or some shit like that.
Yeah, like just ridiculous in the prelims. Can't finish for whatever reason.
Yeah, it's insane. They always lose to like Slovakia in the quarters or some shit, and it's like, okay, I'm never gonna take you guys seriously until you show me that you can play when it matters. But
You think the Toronto Maple Leafs aren't clutch? You should see Team Sweden at the World Juniors. Like,
Just
oh,
imagine how it's gonna be this upcoming year now that they're hosting it.
yeah, yo, Leafs fans are listening to this and being like on your side, and then it ricochet shot towards Leafs fans
just
immediately.
unnecessarily pouring gasoline and lighting a match, and it's just like that was uncalled for.
Yeah. Like, what do we do? Right? Like, come on. But going to the gold medal game, very anticipated one because it was a rematch from the 5-2 loss that Czechia gave Canada in the opening game on Boxing Day. Czechia, talk about a team that surprised everyone. But when you watch them, you can't say you were surprised that they're in the gold medal game. I don't know how much of the tournament you watched, but this team was filled with we got nothing to lose mentality. And when you mix that with some big, strong, skilled players, more often than not, you're going to get results. And that's exactly what happened. They made it to the gold medal game, giving every team
A run for their money.
a run for the money. Perfect. But, when as much as you could catch of this tournament, I don't know how much you did, but I don't know how much of Czechia you watched. But what were your opinions going into the gold medal game on how this game might go with your expectations Czechia gave you?
I watched the Canada Czechia opening game, and I think I was more just surprised at how Canada looked. Like Canada looked rough. Canada didn't look all quite there, and Czechia looked like they were, they had chemistry. They were playing well off one another.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the stat was, but there was something about like going into like the overtime part of it where, Czechia's like top three defensemen had like 20 minutes total each. Like they just play like it seemed like the whole tournament gold medal game included, you know, they had depth. Like they just had a lot of guys that they could just count on and they could rely on. It wasn't just a top end, top heavy, team. It was like, hey, we have three quality defensemen. We have a really good goalie. We'll get scoring somehow, somewhere. We'll find it. But they just seem like a team that played well off one another, and almost like a New York Islanders kind of like playing bigger than
Mhm.
the sum of their parts.
Yeah. No, 100%. Like Czechia was very sound defensively, and then they capitalized on the chances that they got. They may have
Mhm.
only got 5 shots in the first period, but it wouldn't have been a surprise to me if they buried 2 of them, right? Like they don't. And the way Mike Johnson put it on the broadcast, color guy to Gordon Miller, he was saying this team doesn't need to grind out scoring chances. They're ones that will counter and capitalize on any sort of odd man rush that they get. They don't need to grind it out in the corners, tire you out, and then tip in a shot from the point. Like, no, they'll bury you when they get the chances. They're not going to take it for granted. So going into having that information and going into the gold medal game, I can't lie. Like, obviously, I was nervous because Czechia has been on this run, and Canada's shown that they can against Slovakia, 5-2 loss to Czechia. Like, they've gotten some adversity, but they're not necessarily a favorite in this game. Hayden, what were you kind of thinking going into the gold medal game from Canada's perspective?
From Canada's perspective, the whole time leading up to it from Wednesday night, which by the way, can I just say, why the fuck isn't there like a 2-day break? Or why didn't they play this on a weekend night? Like
Scheduling.
Friday night, Saturday night would have been perfect.
Scheduling was insane. I watched the USA game again because
Mhm.
they recorded it and watched it at 6 instead of live at 3:30.
Yeah.
I joined them when the game was over. They were like, "All right, when was the game? Like Friday, Saturday?" I'm like, "No, it's tomorrow." And they're like,
Yeah.
"Why?" And I'm like,
Right?
It doesn't make any sense to me."
No, it doesn't make any sense to me at all because A, it's like I would much rather like to have been drinking a lot more
Yep,
and
100%.
watching that game
Yeah, for sure.
because then it would have made like the nerves a little bit more easy. No, I'm kidding. It would have just made it a little bit more entertainable, right? But
Yeah,
like I was a little like, okay, Czechia has our number. This isn't gonna be a piece of cake,
yeah,
This is gonna be a tough game, which obviously I thought it would. And like you said, Jeff, last week, where it was gonna be a tougher game than the US because fuck, like Czechia beat us. Like there was
yeah,
just a hump that Canada had to get over. Ultimately, they did, but that didn't stop the nerves from the whole game. As I was at Shaden's like school sort of thing, and I was watching the game, and then it went into overtime, and then by then I was allowed to go in, and I started doing just like some tests on me, just
yeah.
to help her practice, but I had to lay straight down on a bed, so I couldn't even watch the game. So I was just like, honey, just put the game up to my ear so I can listen. And then she saw the 2-on-1 breakaway and she's like, oh, we're gonna score. and then, I just heard oh fuck, what's the announcer on TSN? What's his name?
Gord Miller.
Top 10 announcer, by the way.
Oh
I
yeah,
love Gordon
he's
Miller. I
good.
love him calling
This
games.
is this is when he shines too. Like the World
Oh, the
Junior
World
does
Juniors.
thing.
Yeah. And he called the Olympics, right? When
Oh
Canada won.
yeah, like
Yeah.
international is his niche.
Oh yeah. He's top 10 commentator all time. But like I just hear Canada scores and I'm like I can't move. I'm like, fuck yes, let's go.
In the middle of the practice, like in the room, you're like, yeah.
I obviously
Security's walking you out with the test in your arm still.
I obviously wanted to be a little bit chill and be a little
Yeah,
bit mindful to her classmates there, but even the teacher, she came in when she was just like looking over what Shaden has been doing, and she's
yeah,
like, "Oh, you're watching the game? Are we winning?" And then she heard the goal, and she comes in. She's like, "Did we just win?"
yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, we won." And yeah, no, it was a good Thursday night, but definitely would have preferred to have been Friday night.
Yeah, it's just like it's so confusing because it would make more sense to play like the quarters and semis on a back to back and then the final you get a break to like
give them
plan
a day
for,
rest.
especially for like the bronze medal game too, because that's like the same day. That's like before the gold medal game,
Yeah.
so it kind of benefits all parties in the semifinals. Just have if you're gonna throw it back to back, make it the quarters and semis, not semis and finals. Um, but yeah, Shane Wright, birthday boy. He scores a beautiful highlight reel goal, to go up 2-0. But before that, some little rookie from Arizona that could have been property of Vancouver. He absolutely rips a one-timer. Bar Dizzle. Dylan Gunther makes a 1-0. He's just on a tear. I'm not gonna give him all his flowers until later, but this was his tournament, man.
I saw that goal, man, and I was like, holy fuck, what
Yo,
a snipe.
And Shane Doan was on Spit and Chicklets, and he was praising Dylan Gunther's game about like this kid's release is unbelievable. And he was like, he just rips them with so much ease. Like it doesn't look like he's trying. And those one-timers he was doing, he had a stick maybe at his knees. He wasn't doing the big wind-up, just at his knees and just like snapping it or just one-timing it, and it was going bar down every time. I'm like, would have been nice to have him, but now we have OEL and Garland. So, yeah, he makes it 1-0. Shane Wright scores a highlight reel to make it 2-0, and then Czechia starts getting momentum. I was like, Canada's playing solid. We need to keep the foot on the gas because we can't. It's a bad idea parking the bus up too, because as soon as they get one, the momentum's going, right?
Yeah.
Czechia gets one. And I'm like, okay, all right. 34 seconds later, they tie it up, and I'm like, this is exactly what I was afraid of. Exactly what I was afraid of. And then they get the chance with like 10 seconds left in front of the net. Luckily, Brant Clark clears it. 3-on-3 overtime. Dylan Gunther 2-on-1 give and go. He scores the OT winner, and then I start thanking Jim Benning for letting him slip through our hands. But no, Canada wins the gold medal. Were you guys entertained by the gold medal game? Like, did it live up to expectations, do you think?
Anytime you get down to a golden goal in the gold medal game, it always lives up to expectations.
Yeah.
Like, that's like winning the overtime winner on a walk-off touchdown. It's just the last person or the last one who scores wins. That's just storybook endings.
Yeah.
I mean, my only gripe is that it's 3-on-3 overtime. But like,
you're not a big fan of 3-on-3?
Not in the final.
I love the fact that it's 3-on-3. There's so much more like fast-paced scoring chances.
Yeah, honestly, I don't care whether it was 5-on-5, 4-on-4, 3-on-3. I'm just happy that it was continuous overtime until someone wins. They didn't do a shootout.
I'm not a shootout guy. Not a shootout guy, but I think it's like the NHL where you just make a 5-on-5 until someone scores. I think that's the true champion. Because I did put in one of my group chats with some of my buddies of like, oh, Canada's won, back-to-back gold and 3-on-3 overtime. Kind of sounds like some Mickey Mouse, titles, right? And the guys are just like, you suck. That's not true. And it's just like, no, I don't like. I don't
American.
Yeah, no, like I don't take it that seriously. I just think it's funny. But I mean, if there's one thing I had to change, it would be like making it 5-on-5. Yeah. Otherwise, I think it was a really fun game. I think it was really entertaining to watch.
I honestly think if it was 5-on-5 overtime, Canada loses. I think we had an advantage at 3-on-3 because I just think we had more.
Our offense was clicking that game.
I also just think we had more of different line combinations with more skilled players at 3-on-3 than like 5-on-5, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I just think they were running us down with the limited ice available. But when you give players like Zellweger, Bedard, Wright, Gunther, Waugh, when you give players like that more ice, I think they're going to hurt you more than when they're given less ice. So I think Czechia wins that game if it's 5-on-5.
And Bedard scored an OT winner earlier, right? Like in the tournament game. Yeah, like, and I mean, poor Slovakian kids just getting undressed. Like, like that's the one benefit of seeing 3-on-3 is like seeing Connor Bedard just undress some poor Slovakian kid who's got to go back to Bratislava and probably finish school. But like that, like that's just like the one positive of 3-on-3 compared to having 5-on-5.
That's like it's like watching Zion Williamson highlights, and it's like imagine finishing algebra and then putting on your shoes and having to guard Zion.
Yeah, like you like class is done at 3:30. You got to face Zion at 5. Like that's not,
That's criminal.
yeah, like that's not fair. That's not
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, because like Bedard returned to Regina and put up 6 points. He had like 4 goals and 2 assists, and people
Yeah,
are like,
he's fucking insane.
it's like imagine going to school and then having to play Bedard later, and he just does that shit. It's like,
I
what
mean,
do you do?
you gotta go do your exponential functions and then try and defend Connor Bedard like 3 hours later. Like, no, you're not. You're
Yeah,
not gonna stop him. Like, no, that's just not happening.
yeah, it's unbelievable. Whatever team gets him, whether it's Chicago, Anaheim, Arizona, Columbus, it's like,
Vancouver.
yeah, Vancouver through trade. Because there's no way Aquilini is gonna let us tank because he's not smart enough to do that. But he's just gonna be so fucking good, and he might struggle at the rookie level like all rookies do. Jack Hughes did, and now he's one of the top players in the game right now. Bedard's small. He might struggle at the start, but this kid's gonna be unbelievable in second, third year in the NHL once he figures
I
out the speed.
I know we're going on a tangent here about Bedard. I was actually like kind of pleasantly surprised how physical he was. Like he was not afraid to throw around his
Oh, he
body.
wasn't.
No,
And like
100%.
I know there's a difference between the junior level and the pro level, but like I love the fact that he's 17 and he's not afraid to like throw a body around here and there, even in corners. Like he's not afraid to go into the corner every once in a while and just make a play. Like that's
Yeah.
cool.
No,
You
yeah,
know
That's
he's
what?
great.
I feel like that's just kind of how like Canadian hockey is. Like a lot
Yeah.
of these kids, a lot of these like young Canadian men, they do not give a fuck about their body at all. They'll go in and make a play as long as it's like shown on a highlight reel and it can be shown for like your first rookie highlight tape at the end of the season. Like a lot of these Canadian kids, I find they love making the big exciting plays.
well, it's just like they have it in them where it's like I can if I need to, but like I'm not always going to show it because I'd rather try and dangle 3 guys
Mhm.
on the ice. But like if he gets pissed off, at least he's showing that like I can
He has
throw
heart.
and I can be aggressive if I want to.
And
Yeah.
he's mixing it up too. Like he's trash talking. Like
Yo,
he's trash talking throughout the tournament too.
did you see that? I think it was like Nemeth or whatever. Someone was talking shit to Canada, and then like on that same power play, they scored, and he just immediately went up to the guy who was talking shit to the Canada bench or whatever, and was just like, "Hey, did you just see that we scored on you guys or some shit?" He's just
Yeah,
talking to him.
like
The ref had to split him up. But that guy's a cocky little shit. I love him.
and I'm gonna say this as well. Fishbowl for life. I think he's
Oh,
got to keep the fishbowl.
fear the fishbowl. Got to keep
Oh
it
Yes,
yeah.
on.
absolutely. Even at the NHL level, I don't care if he's with the Coyotes or whoever.
Well, I
Fishbowl for
mean,
life,
it
baby.
would make sense for the Coyotes because they're playing in a university barn, and you got to have a fishbowl on to play in the university barn, right? That's only
All
home
coyote,
games.
all Coyotes play, including Zach Cassian, all have to wear fishbowls now.
Yeah, only for home games.
Yeah,
Dude, that'd be fucking hilarious.
That'd be amazing. But that was Will Jr. talk. Bedard wins MVP. No surprise there. Dylan Gunther wins Player of the Game, scoring 2 goals.
Absolutely.
Comments were filled on the TSN page of the golden goal. Thanks, Jim. Canucks legend. Hilarious, but just so sad at the same time. I would always tell my dad, I was like, Canucks could have had him. And he's like, I'm happy right now. Don't ruin my life. And I'm like, I'm sorry. He's like, anytime you say that, it just makes me sad. I'm like, all right, fair enough. But let's quickly rip through these NHL topics. Canucks go 1-2 on the week. Stellar comeback win against the Avalanche. Kuzmenko putting home 2. Very funny. Filipino friend of mine at Leo's, doesn't know much about hockey, but he was adamant the Canucks were going to win against Colorado. He was like, who do you think scoring for the Canucks? Me and Ty both said Kuzmenko, bucket, and he scored the first goal. So got him like $35. So pretty unreal payout, but
Hey, FanDuel, call this guy here. Call Jevin.
1-17 record on the season, baby.
You
Let's
got a
go.
one. You got
Yeah.
a one.
Notice how I haven't talked about my losses, but I've talked about no. But Canucks stellar effort against Colorado, Colin Delia for Vezina. Vote him into the All-Star game. They have the fan vote for a reason. And he gets rewarded with a 4-2 win over Colorado and then gets pumped by the Jets 7-4. Kyle Connor continues to have Vancouver's number. He had a hat trick. Horvat sniped at 29th, but I want to talk about the Islanders game. They looked absolutely pathetic. Horvat carried in that game as well. But Ian, what have your thoughts been about the Vancouver Canucks lately? There's been a ton of drama saying that the locker room morale has been down. JT Miller has been kind of being a prick lately. There was that whole Colin Delia situation where he was telling him to get the fuck off the ice, and
That was funny. That was funny. I'm not gonna lie. That was bad, but it was funny. I did laugh at that. I'm like, well, that's cool. That's hilarious.
And Colin Delia wasn't listening to him. JT Miller basically spazzed out. I think Vancouver is in the worst spot they've been in since their cup run. They aren't as bad, but I just think everything surrounding the team has been in the shittiest spot. It has been for a while. But what have been your thoughts on the Vancouver Canucks lately, especially this past week?
I've been saying this for a while. Nothing really matters with the Canucks until they change owners.
Yeah.
I actually here's the thing. Their defense, like, I'm not trying to like convince you guys that like they're good, but like their defense is awful, and if their defense was even just a little bit better, like they could be a playoff team.
It's funny that you say that because my friend at school today literally said if they had league average defense, they'd be in a playoff spot right now.
Totally.
And I'm like, yes, 100%.
And I'm not saying like, I mean, I kind of am saying that they should go get some D-men because I think it'd be funny. Just like everybody wants them to tank. It's like, no, actually, we're gonna throw draft picks for whoever this year's Travis Hamonic is. But like
Matt Dumba.
Yeah, there we go, Matt Dumba. But like part of it is just like, okay, you have Quinn Hughes. I don't know any other decent defenseman on that team outside of Quinn Hughes.
What do you mean? We gave him a first round pick for Oliver Ekman-Larsson. He has to be good, right?
You're not hearing it from me. By the way, this is also me who like roots for the Red Wings, and we signed Ben Sherratt to a multi-year deal. Yeah,
but there's only one of Ben Sherratt. We have like 5 Ben Sherratts on our team.
But so like point is, defense not good. Bottom 6, yeah. But like you can convince me like if they add like 2 more decent defensemen, another solid bottom 6 guy, like they're a playoff team.
And we could have done that if we didn't trade for OEL and Garland because we would have had $12 million in cap space.
But here's the thing too, is that I think there's enough dumb GMs out there that will trade for OEL and Tyler Myers right now. Like I think there's enough stupid GMs out there who, if you're smart enough, you can convince them to take on OEL and Tyler Myers.
Yeah. No, yeah, maybe.
I think you can do that if you want to go in that direction. Those maybe are even just off-season moves. But like, here's the thing: I don't think if you're the Canucks, the only guys who are untouchable, Petey, Hughes, Horvat, Demko.
No, I think Horvat's gone.
No,
Horvat's
you can't.
gone.
No, you can't.
Guys,
dude,
he's already
you
declined
get
offers.
rid of JT. You get rid of JT.
You can't.
You can't. Yeah, you can. There's enough dumb GMs who will take that. I promise you, there is a dumb GM who will take JT Miller for
who?
There's a dumb GM. I don't know which one. There's a dumb GM. Ottawa.
Ian, the only dumb GM that's taken it is
They're
our
not.
GMs.
No,
Like,
no, Hayden.
No one's
Hayden,
taking a 30-year-old who's getting his 8-year contract extension at the age of 31. There's
Hayden,
no one doing that.
Hayden, I promise you, there are enough dumb GMs out there.
If
Somebody will do
someone
it.
does this, Ian, if someone trades for JT Miller in the next 2 years, that
Oh, yeah.
isn't for a fucking like haul, an absolute like just terrible haul, then I will give you $50 fucking dollars out of my bank account.
Because JT Miller will be traded in the next 2 years.
Okay, traded, yeah. If he's cut, that's a different story.
Totally
I can see him
different.
getting
Totally,
cut.
he's not getting bought out. He's not getting cut. He's gonna get traded in the next 2 years, and you can keep Horvat because you cannot get rid of Horvat when he's the captain of your team.
Well,
And
They don't have room. They don't have cap space.
you can make it. They can figure it out.
If that's the case, then they have to cut Besser or trade Besser.
Sure.
Cut Ekman Larson.
Now, look,
Yeah.
Ian, I want what you're talking about. I didn't want us to re-sign Miller. We should have traded him at the deadline last year, not the offseason, the deadline. We should have traded him at the deadline. We shouldn't have signed Besser, in my opinion. We should have traded him as well. I wasn't a huge fan of Besser's contract because I just don't think I think he needs a change of scenery. And unfortunately, I don't think he's gonna reach the peak of his career on Vancouver. As much as it sucks, and I want him, he's not gonna get back to his rookie year on Vancouver.
Yeah.
If
He definitely needs a change of scenery. Like
If
he definitely needs a change of scenery.
if he goes to a place like Detroit, Buffalo, even Pittsburgh, going to run somewhere, I think if he's surrounded by like playmakers and just a change of scenery, I think he might be able to hit the 30-goal plateau, but he won't be doing it on Vancouver.
Besser could go to Florida tomorrow, and I'd be like, oh yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah,
I could that totally checks out.
I think he could fit in everywhere. I just don't think Vancouver's it anymore. But
Yeah.
I personally think Horvat is gone. He's rejected our last offer. I don't even think it's the money anymore. I think it's the team. I don't think he wants to be here anymore. Because he probably sees he's already come out and said he doesn't want to be part of a rebuild. So he probably sees where the Canucks are and he's like, this team's nowhere fucking close to competing. Why am I going to waste 5 more years of my career here when they're not even close to making a run? Send me to a team like Colorado or like someone that's like up and coming a bit more, and so they can so that he can have a chance to win.
I think Friedman threw out like him to Seattle, which I don't see that happening unless he signs with Seattle because there's no way you're trading Bo Horvat to your arguably biggest rival. Yeah, I don't see that happening. But here's the thing. The team is such a PR nightmare and disaster. I feel like the one good grace or one positive thing you can do is re-sign your captain who's having a career year and
100%.
And I don't know how you make it work. You have to get rid of Miller. You probably have to get rid of Ekman Larson and Myers and all those guys.
Much easier said than done, though.
I know. But believe me, but that's like if you could do the right thing, I think that's the right thing is re-signing your captain who's having a career year, who, for all intents and purposes, seems like a nicer dude and doesn't seem to cause the shit that JT Miller sounds like he's causing and just being an ass.
No, I agree. I think the dressing room was literally like, why the fuck did we sign JT Miller and not Horvat? I think as soon as they signed Horvat or they signed Miller, everyone knew in Vancouver that Horvat was gone. Horvat knew, Miller knew, everyone else in the locker room knew. They were like, I guess it's just it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when Horvat is gone. And it sucks. I want Horvat to stay. Miller's contract should be in the hands of Horvat. Yeah. Miller shouldn't be on the team anymore. It's just Rutherford and Alvin came in to make this team better, and they've made it far fucking worse. And it sucks because Horvat deserves it. And he's literally playing like his contract's up. He's at 29 goals right now. He's going to hit 30 before the All-Star break. It's like weird that a player steps up when he needs to make the most money possible. But yeah, I just think Miller's brought so much. Like, cancer's too big of a word, but like he's bringing a lot of drama to this dressing room that wasn't there when he signed that contract.
So my point is, if you need to do whatever good graces you can do, because the Canucks don't seem to have a lot of good graces right now, and it sure sounds like everybody is pissed off at them and not happy. That seems like a thing you can do, is just re-sign your captain, keep your captain. I don't know if it's 3 years, I don't know if it's 5 years, 8 years to bring down the cap. I don't know. But point is, I think if you're an NHL GM, if you're Alvin and Rutherford, you can make the space. Even if you have to eat up a little bit of money to keep Bo Horvat, I think that's not a bad bet. And I think there's enough dumb GMs out there who will do shit like trade, whatever. Even if it's just a draft pick, like you just don't want that cap hit. Even if like whatever, you just don't want that cap hit, and you don't want that guy around. It just sounds like you don't want that guy around. It sounds like that guy is just a bit of an ass, and you just don't want him in your locker room anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I've thought about it a little bit, Ian, and the only way that they're going to be able to trade JT Miller is if they take probably about 60 to 75% of the contract throughout his like first 4 or 5 years. Because there's no way like that's just gonna happen. Like he's not playing good right now. He's shown to be a locker room nonsense
nightmare.
Yeah, he's an absolute nightmare. Like all the money is wrapped up in bad places for Vancouver, and the only way that they can get rid of them is for literal peanuts.
Yeah,
because
if we attach assets to them.
Yeah, because no one's gonna want Besser for probably even a third with that contract. No one's gonna want Miller for a third with that contract. Like no one's gonna want anyone on the Canucks because of how bad the money is tied with them. Unless they literally are like, oh, like whatever the equivalent is to like a 7th round pick in the NFL to the NHL, they're gonna be like, yeah, okay,
7th
sure.
round pick.
Okay, then. But like a 7th round in the NHL, I know is just extremely more like,
yeah,
not as valuable as a 7th round in the NFL, right? Like, it's as a Canuck like GM to sign Bo Horvat, it's literally just going to take wasting 100, not 100 million, but like 30 million.
There's
in 1 year of no one playing for you.
Here's the thing: there's money to do it. You can do it. It's possible, and I think that would get you in better.
But okay.
not to say that I think that Alvin or Rutherford are at stake of losing their job, but if you're trying to get some good PR, if you're trying to get people to like actually talk favorably about you, you find a way to keep your captain.
You're right, but okay, let's say they get rid of Miller and Besser and other pieces. Horvat said he doesn't want to go through a rebuild. That's exactly what a fucking rebuild is.
Yeah.
He's not staying. Like, there's no way Horvat stays. Horvat's going to be traded max value at the deadline.
I think it's smart for him to leave too, because
absolutely
we've shown to have opportunity to make good decisions, and we fucked up every single one. Because, like you said, this team's going nowhere until we change owners, and it doesn't seem like Aquilini's selling the team anytime soon.
But Jevin, who's going to play the bumper spot on the power play?
Sheldon Dries, baby.
Oh, okay. So, like,
I mean, hey, it's Dries' credit. He's been doing decent in his role, but no, like, I think Horvat, goes to Boston or New Jersey.
I was thinking New Jersey.
Boston or New Jersey. I think those would be good spots for him. Or maybe even the Islanders. They could use some scoring, and Horvat's 2 years in a row hitting 30. So, but I think Horvat's gone, and maybe he re-signs in the offseason. But I think for this year, he wants to go to contender and try and win, because he's probably sick and tired of being And the closest thing they've gotten to the finals is the Western Conference semifinals in the bubble. So,
But again,
um,
none of this matters until they change owners.
yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. Let's talk about the All-Stars. The All-Star rosters were announced with 3 spots available to each division for fan votes. But there were some snubs. There were some players left off. But with that rule of every team needing at least one representation, it restricts some players from going off. So I'll read through the list. We'll go each team and then we'll kind of go over who we think should be the fan votes in. It's 1 forward, defenseman, and goalie from each division that will be fan voted in. So we'll kind of each give our opinions on who we maybe think should deserves those spots, and we'll just go team by team. So we'll start with the Atlantic. Linus Olmark, no surprise, was voted in. Tage Thompson of Buffalo, Dylan Larkin of Detroit, Matthew Tkachuk of Florida, Nick Suzuki from Montreal, Brady Tkachuk for Ottawa, Nikita Kucherov for Tampa, and Mitch Marner for Toronto. 3 available spots, 1 forward, 1 defenseman, 1 goalie. We'll first talk about the ones selected in. Hayden, I'll start with you. What was your opinion on the players voted in? Do you think there are any immediate snubs, or do you think they did pretty good with what they were given?
I mean, considering like how many All-Stars there is in this division, it's so tough. Like
Yeah.
you could find someone on every team, 2 people on every team at least to be deserved of going into the All-Star game.
Yeah. This is a tough time of year because no one's going to be happy with
No,
who's chosen.
no, exactly. But I mean, the biggest one, to me, I guess, is, but it's not even like a surprise because like Allmark's playing like a fucking god, but Pasternak,
Yeah.
like Pasternak's definitely getting voted in.
I
There's no way around it, right?
Yeah, it's just tough because depends fan base. Like I wouldn't be surprised if Matthews is voted in and Pasternak doesn't make the All-Star team.
But you can vote in 3 people in each division, right? Is that what
Yeah,
you're
but
saying?
it's 1 forward, 1 defenseman, and
Oh,
1 goalie.
fuck.
Yeah, so like Toronto's fan
Oh,
base is so big, like I wouldn't be surprised if
yeah.
Matthews is voted in.
Yeah, and
Shit like
that doesn't
that.
surprise me because like Nylander going in, I mean, I probably
Well,
would have put Matthews in over Nylander,
I
but
mean, it was Marner that went in.
oh, sorry, it was Marner, right? Yeah, not Matthews. Fuck me.
But I mean, like Nylander's having a great year too, and I don't think he's going to be representing the Atlantic in the All-Star game. But like, Ian,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on the roster that was chosen?
I mean, I personally would have gone Pasternak. I know you guys talked about Allmark not that long ago, and like he's been a pretty fucking good goalie for the Bruins this year. Like he's part of the reason why the Bruins are doing so well. Um, you know, Tage Thompson is just insane. You can't not vote in Tage
No,
Thompson. You can't not have
No.
him.
he's so good this year. Yeah.
I mean, the problem is that when you get the guys like Larkin, okay, like you have to have a Red Wing. Like Larkin, sure, okay. Brady Kachuk, sure, okay, like I guess. But like really, if we're being fair, like Pasternak and Nylander and Matthews are more deserving All-Stars than those guys, but it's just the way it is.
Yeah. That's why it's such a tough rule because it's like it's nice to have every team represented, but
Oh,
Pasternak
sure.
deserves a spot over Suzuki
Yeah. Like
8 days
and I mean,
out of the week.
yeah, like it just it is what it is. And I mean, even like for somebody like Kucherov, like who's had a pretty good year, Tampa Bay is just finally getting on their roll too, right?
Like Stamkos has done great this year as well. Like Braden
Yeah.
Point's having a comeback year again. Like, yeah, it's always tough. But who did you guys have as the 3 fan votes that obviously maybe I guess who do you think deserves to be the 3 guys voted in? I'll say.
Ian, you want to go first?
Yeah, because I'm probably gonna say Pasternak. Goaltending is weird, but I probably would go with Bassey. like he's probably out of all the guys, he's probably the most qualified to be the goalie. And even like defense wise, might take Victor Hedman, but even like Owen Power, has had a really solid year for Buffalo that people aren't talking about because nobody watches the Sabres, and the only person relevant on the Sabres is Tage Thompson. So like even Owen Power, yeah,
You're missing a name that's been playing really good this year. I think the Silvertips have got you by the nuts right now because you're missing Rasmus Dahlin, man. He's been having Norris caliber year this year.
Dahlin too. I like Dahlin as well, but like I really like Owen Power because he's the young guy that fan vote that the people will probably vote for. Like I don't know about you guys with the whole fan voting thing, but it seems like the fans are either going to vote for like the star or like the guy who was drafted within like the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably who's going to be fan voted.
Or if girls vote, they're probably
but
going to vote like who's the hottest or some shit.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
But like that's just how like voting is, right? Like a lot of the younger generation is going to vote, where a lot of like the mid to older generation who actually has been watching these teams for multiple years are like, how the fuck do you do this? You know, like
Or
it's
there's
just
gonna be like meme votes where it's like, all right, let's get Ivan Barbashev in the All-Star game. It's like, no,
yeah,
I will
exactly.
not
Like
do
it's
that.
not
Like,
it's not gonna be fun
the
at all.
only
Hey,
one
but
that like was okay was John Scott. Like that's the
hey,
only
but
respectable one.
but Jake Wallman did the gritty, guys. Like, how are we not going to put in Jake
See,
Wallman?
exactly. Like I bet you anything, like he'll get in before someone actually relevant gets in because of the younger
Probably.
generation and just trolling.
There's gonna be
probably.
one where it's like people are like, I can't believe this guy wasn't voted in.
Kelly
Yeah,
Yarncroke, what are you doing here?
Yeah. But my 3 is Pasternak, Dahlin, and I put Ville Husso down, but just because I think with the expectations with Detroit, I think Husso's done very well with people thought the signing was kind of bad, but gone to Detroit. And
Detroit's goaltending has kind of been weird. Like Nedeljkovic, like he's been on a conditioning stint in the A, which but I mean, I don't want to be that guy either, but it's like the goaltending has been better than the stat show. Like the goaltending's just been better than the stat show. Like that's like that, and that includes Husso, who you could make that argument. I wouldn't be opposed to it, but everybody else is just like the goaltending on the Red Wings is why they lose. It's like no, it isn't. The team's just not that good.
Yeah. Hayden, who are the 3 guys you got?
Mine, I have goalie. I don't know how this was. Obviously, Shesterkin, big name, but Sorokin. Sorokin
wrong division.
is the Metro. Oh fuck! It is the Metro. God damn it!
We're talking about.
I know we're talking about the Atlantic. Okay, yeah, obviously. Sorry, guys, my bad. Yeah, Pasternak was mine. For the forward, obviously, and then I did kind of have Hedman, with Ian there, because I feel like that's just like the obvious choice. It's like picking apples out of a tree. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's pretty easy. And then for goalie in the Atlantic, I honestly like. I know you said like bring this in, but I think like they kind of got it right with the Atlantic.
Why don't they just bring in Jeremy Swayman and bring both Bruins goalies?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
because they've been both playing pretty fucking much lights out, you know?
Yeah. All right, we'll go with Metro. We got Shesterkin at goalie from New York. We got Svechnikov from Carolina, Johnny Gaudreau from Columbus, Jack Hughes from New Jersey, Brock Nelson, the Islanders, Kevin Hayes, Philadelphia, Sidney Crosby from Pittsburgh, and Ovechkin from Washington. Any thoughts on those boys?
I love it how Ovechkin and Crosby are just always write-ins.
Oh, 100%.
My takeaway from this group was that if Brock Nelson could be an all-star, you can do anything.
He has had a good year. Shout out to him, but no, yeah, it's there's a lot of first timers in this All-Star game.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird group. I have no idea what to make of this group.
Yeah, same here. But for the three guys I think that will be voted in, I was having a tough time bouncing between these two names, but I got Martin Necas from Carolina or Mika Zibanejad from New York. I think those are the two only forwards, in my opinion, that are like deserving of an All-Star nod that aren't in the Metro right now. You could maybe say Malkin, but he's been kind of inconsistent this year. And then I have Adam Fox from the Rangers. I think he'll be the defenseman that's voted in. He's been having a solid year like he always has in the NHL. And then Hayden, I got Ilya Sorokin as the goalie for the Metro that
Yeah,
we voted in
I
because
don't
he's
know
just
how
been
I
playing
fucked up so
unbelievable.
bad.
No,
I don't know why I fucked up so bad. I knew we were talking about the Atlantic, but I'm looking at my notes right now, and Sorokin was right there in the Atlantic, so that's totally fucking my bad there.
yeah, no, 100%. But I think Sorokin will be the Metro goalie voted in. But Hayden, what about you?
Basically, you almost took like the words right out of my mouth because Adam Fox was my switch out with Shesterkin. So put
Well,
in.
these are just like adding to the roster, not switching anyone out.
Well, I think personally, I think that could have happened though because Shesterkin hasn't been playing the best. But yeah, I definitely think Adam Fox will get in as the defenseman.
Yeah.
And then I definitely think you got to put Sorokin in as the goalie because he's just been playing lights out. Absolutely lights out.
I was surprised that like Sorokin wasn't the nod right away for
Right?
the Metro. I think he's been having a better year than Shesterkin, but
And then I looked up just some names and other lists of who was snubbed and whatnot. And uh Kevin Hayes for the Flyers was selected. And I was kind of looking over the stats and tell me why Travis Konechny, is that how you say his last name?
Good job. Nice job. Good pronunciation.
Oh my god, let's go. How is Konechny not ahead of him? And then I saw a funny quote from Torts, and it's I don't give a shit why he wasn't selected over. So
I mean,
I mean,
on a bad team in Philly, you kind of just go with the leading scorer, which is Hayes. And he would have had a bigger lead probably if Torts didn't scratch him for some reason.
but I mean, looking at this right now, obviously it might be late. It's Hayes has 10 goals and 35 points, where Konechny has 20 goals and 40 points. And he's played in 5 fewer games. At least that's what I'm reading right now off of the Toronto Sun. So I could be fucking up pretty bad, but that's just what I've seen.
yeah, I haven't really followed much of
And I can understand
the
why. It's
Flyers.
Philadelphia. They're not the lights out team that they once were.
But yeah, yeah.
I was gonna say, if I work for the Silver Tips, I would say Carter Hart deserves to be on it, but Carter Hart kind of has given up kind of some ugly goals this season.
Yeah.
With the Flyers. My three, I would go Sorokin and Fox. Those would be my goalie and D. It's pretty chalk, I know. I kind of want to see Matt Barzal. I think he'll be the third. He'll be the forward.
Georgia would agree with you.
Yeah.
Well, I was watching the Islanders play the Oilers the other night, and I don't know if you saw Barzal's rip past Campbell.
Yeah.
That dude is so good. I don't know how you can't get him to the All-Star game. But that would be hilarious if 3 Islanders are at the All-Star game and there's one Devil. I think that'd be really funny if that was to happen.
For how good the Devils have been this year, that would be a laugh out loud funny.
Totally. Jesper Bratt. You can make an argument for Jesper Bratt too.
Yeah.
And it's no, we got 3 Islanders going to the All-Star game and one Devil because this is the NHL and that's how this works.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
The Central, UC Saros for Nashville as goalie. Got Clayton Keller for Arizona, Seth Jones for Chicago, Cale Makar for Colorado, Jason Robertson for Dallas, Kirill Kaprizov for Minnesota, Vladimir Tarasenko for St. Louis, and Josh Morrissey for Winnipeg. I think this one probably had the most questionable picks out of
Yep.
all of them. Starting with Tarasenko, I think he's been one of the most inconsistent. He's been probably the third or fourth best player on St. Louis. I don't know why he's there. He's been injured a bunch of times this year. He's been so
give it to
inconsistent.
Kyrou.
Like, yeah, I think Kyrou's been way better. They both had very slow starts, and Kyrou has been far better as of late. I think he was snubbed. Even like I would give it to Robert Thomas before I gave it to Tarasenko. Like, I just don't think Tarasenko has been all that special this year. I'm surprised like Kyle Connor maybe didn't make it on there right away. But Morrissey's also been playing. He's been one of the more underrated stars this year, so I do think he does deserve it. Chicago, they don't really have an all-star, so I don't really care who they pick because none of it really matters. Like maybe Max Domi or Patrick Kane. Like, I'm surprised they didn't just go chalk with Kane or something like that.
Right? Like, how is Kane not on the Crosby and Ovechkin level there?
I mean, like, Kane hasn't been that great this year, but no
he
one in
hasn't.
Chicago has.
He hasn't, but like, come on, man. Like, it's Patrick fucking Kane.
Yeah.
You know,
it's a legacy. It's a legacy pick.
Exactly.
100%. But
it would be hilarious if Max Domi got that nomination over Seth Jones. That would be hilarious.
Yeah. But for my 3, I got Mikko Rantanen for Colorado. I got Miro Heiskanen from Dallas as the defenseman, and I got Jake Ottinger as the goalie being voted in. I think they've both had really good years. Rantanen has done his part with some of the injuries Colorado's gone through, and Val Nichushkin and McKinnon, and he's done his part to kind of keep the team afloat. He's had a really good year this year. But there's a few forwards you could pick. I don't know if you guys went in a different direction, but Ian, I'll start with you. Who are the forward, defenseman, and goalie you have getting voted in?
I'll start with goalie because you and I had the same goalie pick. I think you go with Ottinger. Like the Stars are really good.
Yeah.
Holy, like the Stars are really good with Ottinger, behind the pipes, between the pipes, whatever the term is. Forward, I did want to go with Connor. Like I do want to get the Winnipeg, like because it was either Hellebuck for goalie, but like you have the Winnipeg and Dallas like mix up. Like I could have gone either way. I wanted to go with Connor because I do want to recognize the Jets because the Jets surprisingly are doing well, and defense was actually like a little bit tricky.
Yeah, it was tough.
But I like chaos, so I went Jacob Chikrin.
This is where Ian's villain arc starts. I like chaos. I want to see stuff unfold. I want to see this guy's trade value just rise with the All-Star game.
I think that would be like an underrated subplot is if people just vote Chikrin.
Oh yeah.
And just we get another Coyote, which the Coyotes definitely don't deserve another All-Star either. And 2, it's just Jacob Chikrin trade talk, and dude scores a goal, and that means he's now worth like 2 first-round picks.
Coyotes have more All-Stars than the Devils.
Absolutely. That's what we need to get going.
Devils' best season since they went to the Cup final, and they have less All-Stars than
the same amount of All-Stars as the Blackhawks.
Same amount of All-Stars as the Blackhawks, less than the Coyotes and Red Wings. Oh, that'd be the best. Hayden, who do you have as the forward, defenseman and goalie for the Central?
The forward, I have Jordan Kyrou. I think he's been arguably playing pretty good. And then I kind of went chalk with goalie with Ian. Connor Hellebuck.
He's been doing really good this year.
He's like the only reason like Winnipeg is where it's at right now.
Yeah.
Like just looking in fantasy, looking at like Kiana's team, and it's like at a time Hellebuck was like 8th for points. Like back in a while ago, I was like, this is unreal. Goalie is 8th in points.
Yeah. Centrals have no joke for goalies. Like Nashville, Saros, Keller, you have I don't even know how to pronounce his name, but he's a lefty, catches right. how do you pronounce Velmaneka or something like that?
Vejmelka?
Vejmelka. He's been good
I
this
don't know if
year.
that's right either. I'm gonna say it. I have no idea if that's right.
We're going with it. Him. We got Ottinger. Kemper's done good this year. It's been Central's had their way with goalies this year, but Hayden, who's your defenseman?
Defenseman Roman Yossi.
Yeah. Just based off looks alone, you'll probably get voted in with Barzal. Man Rockets piss me off. But yeah,
I
those are
can't compete.
yeah. You can't keep getting away with this. Pacific, we got Logan Thompson, Ian's Calder pick from the beginning of the year. It's looking to be pretty juicy. For Vegas, you got Troy Terry from Anaheim, Nazem Kadri from Calgary, Connor McDavid from Edmonton, kind of a snub
What
there.
a shocker.
Yeah. Kevin Fiala from LA, EK65, Eric Carlson for San Jose, Matty Beniers from that Kraken Kool-Aid that Ian's been sipping on this season, and Elias Pettersson from Vancouver. Pacific, it's hard to find a snub since this has been the worst fucking division in the NHL this year. It's hard to find a snub. But Vegas, you can kind of go a couple different directions here with All-Stars. Like I think Eichel's worthy of a pick, Thompson's worthy of a pick, Petrangelo's worthy of a pick. Marchessault was worthy of a pick until he got hurt. Like you can go. Mark Stone is doing good this year. Anaheim, they are terrible. Calgary has been underperforming, so I think it's hard to really pick an all-star. Edmonton, McDavid. You're not going to pick Draisaitl over McDavid, but like Draisaitl's worthy of a pick. San Jose, Eric Carlson's the only worthy person that's having one of the best players in the league this year is the only good player on San Jose.
I don't know that I could name 3 players on the Sharks.
Seattle has honestly had a really good year, and you could probably go a bunch of different directions. Like I think they're all relatively on the same level, but a good level. Like Burakovsky, McCann, Beniers, they've all been playing good. Vancouver, you could have gone Pettersson or Horvat. That's really it, though. No one else has really had. Maybe Kuzmenko. JT Miller, I just think with all the drama surrounding him, no one's gonna fucking pick him. But Hayden, I'll start with you this time. Who are the 3 guys that you have getting voted in forward, defenseman, and goalie?
Man, it's so tough. Forward, I really wanted to say Horvat, but it's gonna be Draisaitl.
Yeah.
It's going to be Draisaitl.
You can't not have the second leading point getter in the NHL.
No, you can't. Yeah. And they fucked up with Vancouver by putting Pettersson in, even though Pettersson is playing amazingly. But it's Horvat is obviously the leading goal scorer at 29, right? Or 28, 29. So it's definitely going to be Draisaitl, unfortunately. But you know what? I am going to give the nod to Vancouver. In the defenseman market, give me Quinn Hughes. And defenseman, it's like you said, it's fucking goaltender, it's fucking tough.
Yeah, it's hard to find a second good goalie in the Pacific Division.
It is. Fuck, man. Give it to Skinner.
Colin D'Elia, baby. Let it ride.
I say give it to Skinner, man. Skinner has a pretty decent win-loss percentage. Although that's just a lot of Edmonton scoring, but he makes some big saves in some big time moments.
Yeah.
And I honestly just can't care to think of maybe one of the goalies on Vegas. You could probably give it to them because Vegas is the top in the Pacific. So that could probably be where you go. But Skinner looks good.
Yeah. No, those look good. I got Draisaitl. I think I was a lock. I got Rasmus Anderson from Calgary. I think he's been having a pretty underappreciated year. I don't really know if it's all-star worthy year, but he's been pretty solid for an underperforming Calgary team. Everyone thought Uyghur would be the best defenseman on that team, but it's been Rasmus Anderson this year. And then I got Martin Jones from Seattle. He has 18 wins on the year. He's been he's been really solid when everyone thought Grubauer was going to be the guy after that Vezina caliber year he had in Colorado. Everyone thought Grubauer was going to be the guy. They brought Martin Jones in, and he's been far better when healthy. So I got Martin Jones taking that second goalie spot. But Ian, who do you got to finish off this All-Star conversation?
If you couldn't tell by my rant earlier, I have Bo Horvat as the forward.
Yeah.
Over Leon Draisaitl. I went with Pietrangelo at D, and I also went with Martin Jones because like I think like obviously Beniers had a really good year, but you have to also like Jevin, you threw out a few names, Burakovsky, McCann, but Martin Jones has like been a really big part in making the Seattle Kraken. I don't know about a cup contender, but like they'll make the playoffs. He's helped guide them to the playoffs.
And I think it's going to be a team where it's like no one's going to walk over them. Like they're going to give any team a tough series. So
well, and I don't know if like anybody really knows what the Kraken are. Like people know that the Kraken are winning, but like they don't really know who the Kraken are.
Yeah.
And if you have, I know it's a cliche, but if you have a really good goalie, if you have two really good goalies, Seattle's looking really solid. And kudos to Martin Jones. Kind of like you say, he's really fallen off like the last couple of years, like since he got injured in San Jose. And hopefully now Seattle's like a resurgent place where he can be that, maybe not 1A, but 1B.
Yeah, no, I agree. Let me just bang out a couple more notes here and then we'll get talking to some football. Nick Backstrom and Tom Wilson made their season debut against Columbus. They each recorded a shot on goal with Backstrom adding a block. Obviously, with how long they've been out, they're going to need a couple games to get back to game speed and stuff like that. But with Washington in the position they are, it's basically like adding a deadline player, or deadline players in Wilson and Backstrom. This team should only go up from here with the contributions they've gotten from Strome and Sheary, and even on the back end. I think adding guys like Wilson and Backstrom is just going to enhance their level of play. UC Saros made history. He set a Preds record with 64 saves in a regulation win over the Hurricanes. 64 saves. That's a number
2 games worth.
Yeah, that's a lot of saves, and I have him in fantasy, and that was a solid 35 fantasy points. So, shout out to you, UC. Shortly after, me and Hayden were praising the play of Jake DeBrusk. He was placed on injured reserve with a hand injury and a broken fibula. It must have been just a minor fracture because his timeline is only 4 weeks on the IR. So it feels like it should be longer, but it seems that he'll only be out about a month. But with how good Jake DeBrusk has been playing, it kind of sucks to see him go out. He really scored 2 goals on a broken leg and said, I'm heading out. But all the best to him. Mitch Marner reaches 500 career points. Literally feels like he got drafted like 2 years ago, but 500 points, like seeing them reach that point, it's like, wow. It feels like they shouldn't be at that point already, but it is. So, shout out to them. Pacioretty also returned from injury. Second game back, he got 2 goals against Columbus. Pacioretty,
Columbus
again,
is terrible.
Oh, Columbus is so bad. But they're just they're just getting set up for like big players to return and just absolutely torch them. Lucky enough, they weren't victims of that from Backstrom and Wilson. But again, Carolina, they're second in the league overall. They're just an absolute wagon, and then they just get to throw Pacioretty into their lineup. So that's another deadline piece, that one less thing that they have to worry about trading for. They get to just throw in a 30 to 40 goal scorer in their lineup with ease. It's like, all right, I guess we'll throw this scrub back down to the A. But yeah, Jimmy Vesey signs a 2-year $800K average with New York. Not much, but the only other note is like I have Tage Thompson. He just keeps pouring it on. I mean, we pumped his tires earlier this episode, but is it like he had that unreal year, signed that contract, and then people were like, was it too early? It's clearly showing that he just seems to be good at hockey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how do you feel about Tage just deciding to be good?
I think Buffalo won the Ryan O'Reilly trade. Is that what we're saying? Like I like I have never seen a dude have this kind of takeoff. Like this like in 2 year stretch.
Yeah,
Never gone from like fourth liner to like was he is he third in points?
he's
Third or
up
fourth in
there.
the league?
Yeah,
Third or fourth in the league in points on Buffalo on the
yeah,
Sabres? That's unreal. And kudos to him, you know, just destroying the haters left, right, and center.
yeah. No, he's been absolutely unreal. But we've been talking about hockey long enough. Hayden, why don't you run us through this past weekend in football?
Whew. All right, boys. Actually, the season's over. It's time for drafting season, as Jeff and I know. Ian, goodbye.
No. That's no. You guys brought me on for a reason. Come on now.
Yeah, no, there is a reason. It's to tell you to fuck off. No, I'm kidding.
Hayden, we will not be talking about Seattle, okay?
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, there's actually
Should I
six.
just mute
There's
myself
actually
now? Then?
six.
Is that what I should? I just mute myself now from this?
Yeah, there's actually only
While you're
six
at it,
spots
can you
in the
turn your
NFC.
camera off as well? Thanks, man.
No, but for real, the playoffs of the NFL are now set. Boys, I'm depressed, man. 18 weeks went by so fucking fast. Like
I know it
it
did.
feels like yesterday, Jeff. Like we were up camping and I was like, dude, I gotta go get my draft ready. And then I just totally fucked up the time.
Yeah, and it feels like Scott Hansen, like 2 seconds
Just
ago,
said
was
this is
starting
the
off.
first, yeah.
Yeah,
No.
first time and many more to come, saying 7 hours of commercial-free football, and then now it's like, we'll see you in September. I'm like, wow, that's 9 months away.
Yeah, like fuck sakes. I gotta go through summer.
Yeah.
Bullshit. No, it was a great season. Obviously a lot of ups and downs, a lot of surprises, Ian, a lot of declines, me. It just happens. And I am appreciative of being an NFL fan every day, although sometimes I think it's rigged. I think we can all agree that sometimes it's rigged. We've definitely had calls. All of us have had calls gone not our way, but we strive through. We cheer for the teams we cheer for because trust me, next year it's all of our years somehow, some
Yeah.
way. Okay.
We will all play each other in the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
My-
There's a 3-way play. Okay.
My team hadn't even been eliminated yet, and I'm just saying, wait till next year, guys. Like,
Ian, you thought you were literally gonna win 4 games this year. Okay, shut the fuck up. I
I
told
thought we
you.
win 7.
I told you on our previews that you would bullshit 7. You said I think we're gonna win 5. And I'm
Probably,
like,
yeah. That sounds
and
about
I'm
right.
like, no, they're gonna play. They're gonna play every team in their division hard. And what did I say? Arizona was gonna be the bottom of the division. Okay, I called
That's
it.
so funny. That
I
is so
called
funny.
it.
The Arizona Cardinals.
But
Just fired
we,
Cliff Kingsbury. So
easy. Yeah, obviously a lot of head coaching jobs have opened up. Some one and dones. Lovie Smith. That was tough.
I literally
Uh,
never understand firing a coach after 1 year when you're
Especially
hired
when it's thrown into a dumpster fire.
when you're hired to a shit team. It's like, what were you
Yeah.
expecting them to do?
Like, not even the next coach for the Texans next year is going to improve
Yeah.
that team. If they do, it's a miracle. Absolute miracle.
If
Doesn't
anything, Lovie Smith is lucky, so he doesn't have to coach the Texans for another year.
Exactly. Like, I'm surprised he actually tried to plead with the owners.
It's
To
probably
make him...
like, I mean, obviously job security is important. Like, you want to be in work.
Yes, I agree.
And it's everyone's dream. The pay is much better for a head coach as opposed to an OC or like anything
DC,
below a
yeah.
head coach. But obviously, like, coaching the Texans is tough. So
No,
it
absolutely.
sucks. But who knows? Maybe he gets the bag back in college or some shit. Like,
I think he could become a defensive coordinator.
I think he
NFL.
will. But
Yeah.
colleges love throwing money at coaches, so who
Yeah,
knows
that's
what
true.
happens.
But anyways, we will start with the teams that officially made it in. The Chiefs clinched the 1 seed. after their demolishment of the Raiders. That was fun for a week, Jared Stidham. You can go sit down now.
Yeah.
And if we're going in chronological order here, the Jaguars defeat Tennessee. Tennessee with the worst 4th and 13 play call I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, game's on the line, season's on the line. Yeah, let's do a 3-yard dump off. Tennessee, you deserve to lose.
That's a Patriots play right there.
Oh, it's just so frustrating. Jacksonville, congratulations. You guys clearly you guys deserve this. It's amazing what 1 year and one good coach can make.
Yeah. Who would have thought?
Yeah, no, it's absolutely insane. The Steelers and Browns played a meaningful game up until it wasn't. The Bengals and Ravens both made it in. Even though the Ravens, it's going to be hard for them to beat Cincy. They're going to Cincinnati back-to-back weeks.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Especially with their quarterback situation up in
Exactly.
it's questionable right now, so
No, exactly. It's tough. Jev, your Patriots obviously were eliminated on what seemed to be just bet the Bills. As soon as Hamlin woke up, bet the Bills. That's how it was gonna be.
It's the only reason why I'm frustrated is the way we lost in such a way where it's it could have been so easily avoided. If we got if Bills put on a performance like they did to us last year in the playoffs, where every drive they scored a touchdown, I wouldn't have been so upset. I would have just been they were playing off of adrenaline from their boy being in a life or death scenario the week before, and now that news is broken that he's okay. Maybe not released, but he's talking now and stuff, and he's I don't think he was released.
No, he was
when
only
the game was
today.
played. Yeah,
I think he's on his way back. I think he's on his way back to Buffalo now.
Yeah, right now.
Yeah. He's playing in the wild card.
Dude, imagine.
No, but if we got pumped that way, I would have been kind of saw it coming. But the difference was 2 kick returns.
Yeah.
It's that's special teams is the Patriots' MO, and that's how we lost.
Yeah. Considering Belichick
Hines,
was
baby.
Yeah.
Dude, what an acquisition that pickup was at the trade deadline.
Yeah.
Jesus. And
no,
it wasn't. Fuck.
Yeah,
no.
so it was just a tough way to lose.
No, I agree.
Devontae Parker played really good. He had a good 50-50 grab touchdown. Mac Jones was throwing it pretty well. Some of the play calling though was absolutely horrendous.
But that's been new for the whole year.
Yeah, so it was a display where it's all right, we're keeping up with them. We're doing pretty good for a game that we need to win to make the playoffs. And then as soon as that second kick return got returned for a touchdown, we forgot how to play offense, and everything kind of went to shit. But yeah, I don't know. It's tough. I didn't think we were gonna win that game though. But
no, not at all.
Whatever. At least we'll get a hopefully better pick.
Yeah, to trade down. The Dolphins. Wow, my God, it's such a boring game. Absolutely boring game.
It was 11-6.
Yeah, 11-6. What
that's a legal score. If you win 11-6, you don't actually win.
Yeah, no. They both should have been eliminated.
You're eliminated from playoff contention.
Yeah, the fact that the Dolphins are in as opposed to the Patriots or the Steelers just kind of seems criminal after that performance. Yeah. I know it's not Tua, but Mike McDaniel, you cannot be looking that serious on the sideline after you nail a fucking 50-yard kick. Okay, calm the fuck down.
Yeah,
calm the fuck down. But that pretty much rounds out any relevancy in the AFC. Texans Colts, that was a fun ending somehow.
Oh my God, Texans low-key dumb though.
Yeah, seriously. Well,
why are you winning that game?
Yeah,
play your fourth strings, even though it's probably your starters. But
yeah, Lovie Smith playing for your job. Now it's just going to be a bigger question of do they get Bryce Young or not? Because now Chicago, prime position to trade down from so many teams. So many teams are going to be wanting that first overall pick for Bryce Young.
Well, even what is it? Stetson Bennett too. Like, isn't he in the draft as well?
CJ Stroud is the name of the Ohio
Yeah.
State quarterback. Stetson Bennett's gonna be running a Kia dealership here in the next couple of years.
Yeah, Stetson Bennett is the same age as Lamar Jackson.
Correct.
Just put that in mind. Like, you're gonna be drafting someone who in 10 years will not be relevant.
Yeah.
The Brandon Whedon of the NFL, shall we say.
No, but yeah, like I think Chicago, I think trading down is the right move because I think Fields is exactly the same as those types of players.
Yep.
And if you get him any sort of weapons or protection, it'll save you and you'll
so
get
much
more
better.
capital. You trade down to
Exactly.
the 4th spot, you could get 3. You could get like
You can get
4
a next
additional
year's
picks.
first if you trade down to like the 8th spot. Like,
yeah.
and no, it's absolutely insane. The Bears won the draft with that. So congratulations. Now the NFC. The Eagles took care of the Giants. Even though it was like half of the Eagles' first strings for like the first half, and then the Giants like 4th strings. That was actually kind of surprising. But then to round out the 2 seed, the 49ers and Brock Purdy. What a Cinderella story this could be for the 49ers. Again, the Cardinals suck.
I think the Cardinals are a social experiment or a government experiment to see how long a fan can last without getting depression. That's what I think the Cardinals are.
Yeah, that's a good one. I could see that.
Like, what have the Cardinals done? The Cardinals have not done anything. Blow it up, start it over.
Again, trade Kyler Murray.
Yep.
Yeah. The Vikings round out the 3rd spot. They are the most fraudulent team. They tried to get back some of their scoring difference in this one game. It should be a fun one. And then the 4th seed is the Bucs, who lost to the Falcons. Everyone who bet on the Buccaneers to beat the Falcons, you're an idiot. The Buccaneers literally didn't need to play anyone. So, like, yeah, hurrah.
Didn't Brady play like half of the first quarter?
He played the first quarter, and then that was it.
And he was like 1 incompletion with like 85 yards and a touchdown. It's like,
yeah.
All right, Brady's heating up right before playoffs, guys.
Yeah, no, he's ready.
Also, not gonna lie, Falcons like kind of okay, like kind of like not ass, which is like
hot take. Falcons are not ass.
I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go out and on a limb with something controversial and say that the Falcons are not actually ass.
I mean, next year they probably won't be. They have so much money. They have to spend it somewhere.
Yeah.
It'll definitely be a quarterback. The 5 spot rounded out by the Cowboys, who got absolutely crushed by the Commanders. And Sam Howell.
We all agree the Cowboys are not winning the Super Bowl, right? They are not a chance.
I do
not
think
after that performance.
I do think that like they beat the Bucs though. I'm 50-50.
Now that Jeff's thinking about it, the Bucs are gonna win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I had him in the Super Bowl, but I just like, I don't know. Dallas's defense is really good, but also like Brady in the playoffs, he's starting to heat up at the right time.
You're gonna bet against Tom Brady in the playoffs? Good luck.
Yeah,
But with this game, like Sam Howell, they didn't have really much any tape on him NFL game wise, but Sam Howell looks pretty fucking good. Like, you cannot argue that he had some throws that were pro throws. Like, that one deep ball he had to McLaurin was right on the money. On the money. And I think the Commanders have a tough not tough decision. You gotta see Sam Howell next year.
100%.
Like, he was a really high prospect going into the draft before he just had a shit last year.
Yeah.
So so that rounds out the 5th spot. The 6th spot then goes to the Giants, who, congratulations. I don't feel
anything about the Giants.
I don't feel confident.
I don't feel anything. I don't feel cool.
I do think that Dable should be a nominee for Coach of the Year, though.
He's definitely up there. He is
their best asset.
Yeah,
Brian Dable is the best asset on the Giants.
Yeah, he won't make people come to New York next year.
I think he will get close to winning it because no one had expectations on the Giants, and they had a decent. What were they, 9-6-1 or something?
Yeah,
Or like 9-7-1.
9-6-1. Oh wait, no,
9-6.
yeah, 9-7-1, yeah, because they
Yeah.
just lost, yeah.
So, and they no one thought they were going to be anything. Shout out to Kenny Golladay, scored a touchdown. Um,
Only needed about like 73 more catches to get his full his bonus.
Yeah, that was
Close.
such a funny photo. Part of my take posted. Kenny Golladay only needs 76 catches on Sunday to get his bonus of 250 grand.
Yeah, no, that was pretty funny.
It was like just a reminder for all the gamblers.
Oh my
Keep this
god.
so funny. But
Yeah,
yeah,
no.
Giants are I think they're a one and done. Shout out to them. You get an extra game this year.
Yeah, no, I agree. And then the 7th spot. The 3 games basically it needed to get into one. Also, I just want to say the Chargers get the 5 spot in the AFC. Congrats. But Mike Williams, Brandon Staley, that was a big fucking dumbass play. Anyways, the Seahawks. I don't know about this game. I watched it, and yeah, like the Seahawks and Rams. I thought the Rams were honestly gonna win. I thought just with the type of steam that Baker Mayfield was playing with, maybe he could go in and do something, and maybe they should have. Seahawks, I definitely think got some pretty lucky calls down near the end. That Jalen Ramsey hit on Geno Smith. Geno Smith hit Ramsey. Okay, can we all agree on that?
I don't think it
So
should have been a penalty.
so I was
Yeah, I
at
don't
the
think it should have been a penalty either.
I was at the game on Sunday.
Yeah.
And where like it was on the opposite sideline of where I was sitting, and I was sitting in like the 100, so like I didn't have a clear view because like I was, there's a bunch of
Yeah.
players and like there's the bench. So like in real time,
Oh, in real time, yeah, being in your position, I could see how it would look like Ramsey did that.
well,
But on replay, you can't argue. Geno Smith did not step out. He ran into Ramsey.
and the other thing too that not for nothing, it was on the Seahawks sideline, which did not give Ramsey the benefit of the doubt.
No.
Where everybody on Seattle sideline is going crazy because it's just like, hey, like that,
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, I definitely think like the players made that call, but because I think like Gino engaged in contact as well. It's not like he was running out. We had no plan to like hit stick or put his shoulder down, and Ramsey crushed him. Ramsey, if anything, saw that Smith was coming.
And stood his ground.
Gino wasn't even 100% out. He was still kind of fighting for yards. And Ramsey just kind of, if anything, just turned his shoulder towards him. Geno Smith put his shoulder down as well, and they both got collided. I don't think Ramsey should have got a penalty for that. I think it was kind of bogus.
I think Jalen Ramsey's kind of a douche as well, so like he deserves a penalty. How about that?
I will agree.
I also don't like
that really should have no impact on the game, but just because I think that Jalen Ramsey is a bit of a POS, I think he deserves that penalty.
All right, confirmed. Ramsey deserved that penalty.
Inside sources are telling me.
Oh boy, not inside sources, please. But then moving on to Sunday night, the Lions do their part for the Seahawks, and they come up absolutely huge. Could this be Aaron Rodgers' last game? I don't know. He's a fucking drama queen.
He did tell Jameson Williams that he's keeping his jersey. So.
Oh, boo fucking who? He's coming back next year. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. He doesn't. He always likes to keep things until training camp.
Exactly. He's such a joke. But anyways, to round out the playoff, the first games, it'll go from Saturday to Monday. Seattle will lose. I mean, we'll play the 49ers. And then the Jaguars and Chargers will play Saturday night. Sunday morning will be the Bills hosting the Dolphins, and then the Vikings hosting the Giants. And to finish it off on Sunday night will be the Bengals hosting the Ravens. And then on wild card round Monday night, the Bucs will host the Cowboys. And that is your NFL week preview.
How do we should we throw in some picks? How
Ooh,
we think?
three
We don't
three
have to
picks.
3 picks.
Yeah,
Three
Left side
locks
heavy
of the
lo-
week.
Yeah,
Three locks of the week coming up here.
Left side heavy locks.
we should all parlay it too.
All right. Well, you know what? I like this.
Throw down
Should we,
Fine.
should we throw in a 6-leg parlay and we each put 2 games on there?
Yeah, I'll
Or-
do
or-
3 separate, and then we each put in 2.
Okay.
It can be overs and unders too.
What 2 games are we each picking?
Ooh.
Like, are we all making one parlay right now?
Well,
This
I'll
is
make
what-
one. I'll make one separately, but then our together one. I can make the together one here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. Like, I almost like Jaguars in upset territory against the Chargers.
I was thinking that too.
Sheesh.
I was thinking that too.
Sheesh.
Dude, they mollywhopped them in the regular season, and Staley has a knack for choking.
That is true.
And Jaguars are kind of like
They're rolling right now.
they're Czechia of the NFL right now.
No, I agree.
Got some talent there, raw talent. They just got to utilize it correctly.
The Seahawks are 10-point dogs to the 49ers.
Can
It's
I
too-
here?
it's
Can
too
I?
many
Can I
points.
just?
That's too
here's-
many
here-
points.
Can Ian just give his quick take on that game?
Yeah.
I actually like. Not gonna lie, like I'm like 50%, 60% like in on like we're gonna beat the 49ers on Saturday.
Okay. Okay. Well, you're not betting on the Seahawks and 49ers. Okay.
We'll just
You can't have any bias on this parlay.
All right. So then I think we all agree that the Vikings are beating the Giants. Then I can make that pick because like
Okay.
I don't think any of us think the Giants are gonna beat Minnesota.
Okay, sounds good. So right now we have the Jeff picked the Jags. You picked the Vikings.
Are we doing money line?
Well, it can be anything. I was gonna do
What's the spread for Jags and Chargers?
1.
Oh, so it's
Oh,
a
I
pick 'em?
The Jaguars are a point underdog, so you get better money with the
Oh.
money line.
Yeah, I would take the
So
I'll take the
Ian,
Jags.
do you like the Vikings -3 or money line 165 negative?
I take money line.
Okay, sounds good. I will make the next one. Is Tua Tagovailoa playing in the Bills?
I don't think he is.
Oh man, that's a tough one. You know what? I think I'm going to go. I think I'm gonna go with a nice over. No, you know what? I'm gonna go a nice under on the Cincy and Baltimore game. The line set at 43.5. Oh, actually, I don't know. The defense.
I kind of like the.
No, you know what? I like the under. I like the under.
Okay. All right.
All right, Jeff, back to you.
I'm actually. Can I? I want to take the Chargers over the Jags.
Oh, dude.
Oh, you want to? Okay, so you want to go -1 point then, or do you want to go money line?
Or what's the line set at over under?
47.5. I think it hits under that one.
See,
So you're telling me that offense of the Jags is not, or the defense of the Chargers is not better than the Titans? I like the under on that one. If you don't choose the under on that one, I'm then choosing under on that one.
Well, I'm gonna go Chargers money line, and then
Okay.
for my second one, I'm gonna go Mike Evans anytime touchdown scorer.
Okay. I can do props. All right, Ian. What do you like now?
We've touched on almost every game, haven't we? We've touched on.
Yeah. The games we haven't touched on are the Bills and then your Seahawks.
I'm not allowed to bet on the Seahawks, so I will then take the. What's the Bills spread?
10.5.
Even that seems like a lot. Even if I don't know if Tua's playing, even
Right?
that seems like
It
that seems like a
does.
lot. That's a
Spe-
lot of.
Especially because like Miami gave them a run for their money.
What'd you say the over under was on that? 42?
44.5.
I'll take the over. The Bills are scoring at least
All right.
30. I think
All
the
right.
over, and I think in the Bills Dolphins game, the Bills got to be scoring at least.
28.
I was gonna
20
say
at
30.
least, yeah. I
They
would
got to
say
be
that
scoring.
too.
The Bills are going to be scoring at least 30, 35 in that game.
All
They'll
right.
be there'll be 12 extra, 10 or whatever the point. Like there'll be enough points there to, at some point.
I agree. And then for at least to get us on the board, oh man, just because you're a Seattle fan, I don't want to choose this game. But I mean, like,
You whatever what's this what'd you say? It's 10 in Seattle, San Fran?
yeah, but I would take the money line just to be safe. So this parlay
I
starts
know.
off good.
Like I would take Seattle spread.
Yeah. I like.
Honestly,
I
yeah,
don't hate Seattle
it's a
spread.
playoff game. Minus 110. Yeah, that just
And
seems.
and I'm gonna again, San Francisco's already beat us twice this year. It's tough to beat teams 3 times in a year. And historically, Pete Carroll is pretty good against Kyle Shanahan.
That is true.
Yeah.
So I would take, like, I'm not gonna say Seattle money line, but Seattle spread at 10.5. That feels like a safe pick that I'd be okay making.
I think it could come down to like Seattle needs a touchdown to tie it kind of thing. And if they don't, San Fran takes a knee kind of thing.
Seattle needs like an 80-yard drive with no timeouts and like under 2 minutes to tie the game.
Yeah. And like Brock Purdy first playoff game, who knows what happens. So yeah, I don't hate that. All right, Hayden, what's our parlay looking like?
Well, I'm trying to fucking get this Mike Evans anytime touchdown prop, but I'm not finding a luck to get any fucking touchdown prop.
Okay, then what's the Bucs Cowboys bets at? Like spreads and odds.
The Bucs are +3 dogs.
Oh,
Tom Brady has never lost to the Cowboys, by the way.
Then I'll take Bucs +3 if you can't find Evans anytime.
I can't.
It's Tom Brady as an underdog in the playoffs at home.
Yeah, I like the +3. So with that, our wager 16 parlay. If we all put $10 in, I'm very much down to do this. Because if we bet $30, we will be winning $1,126.
All right. What do we got?
We got the Minnesota Vikings and New York Giants money line. We got an under in the Baltimore Cincy. We got the Chargers money line. Over 44.5 in the Buffalo and the Dolphins game. Seahawks +10. Buccaneers +3. And are we all committed into putting $10 into this?
I don't know if I like my pick.
Am I taking my winnings from fantasy and just putting it in this wild card weekend parlay?
Dude, we have to. This is part of the show.
This is content.
And yeah, Jeff, do you like your pick?
I almost want to stay away from the Chargers Jags game.
All right. Then
I kind of want to go Bengals money line.
Okay, we can do Bengals money line.
Yeah, let's do Bengals money line.
Obviously, that takes it down from over $1,000. Now we're at 819 return.
Jeb, can I do some convincing?
What's up?
I really like the Jags this weekend.
Yeah.
I really think the Jags at home, they're one of the hottest teams in the playoffs, and they're on a roll.
And Doug Peterson's a good coach.
And you just said Brandon Staley has choking in his blood.
Okay, give me the Jags. Throw the Jags on the card.
All right, we're gonna do this. $30, and then our return is almost $1,230.
There you go. I like that.
All right, I'm putting it in right now.
All right, we'll e-transfer you.
There we
So
go.
yeah, just take my money, just take my winnings from fantasy this year, and like just say in chat, just put in the chat like I get Ian's fucking fantasy winnings this
And
year.
There we
and
go.
Hayden, either make a graphic of it or post the slip
Oh,
on
yeah.
left side heavy, and we'll get you guys' opinions on it and stuff.
We'll make sure to do that shit.
Yeah. But no, this is gonna be entertaining. What's your game of the week? What one are you looking forward to most?
I
I
mean,
mean, I'll say the Seahawks because obviously I want to see, but like I think Cowboys Bucs will actually be a fun Monday
I
night
think
game.
it'll be a great game.
I
Yeah, that's what I
also
was leaning to.
And to me, I think it's Jags Chargers or Bucks Cowboys. Like I
Yeah,
honestly
Yeah.
think the Jags Chargers one is going to be such a fun game to watch.
I agree.
Because Jags are just they throttled the Chargers last time,
Yep.
and they're just both entertaining teams.
A
So
great quarterback matchup. Such a fun quarterback
especially
matchup.
like Trevor Lawrence has just excelled in Peterson's system, and it's so good to see that we're finally seeing like the Trevor Lawrence that was supposed to be in the NFL, besides the Urban Meyer stint. But no, this is going to be very entertaining. I'm excited.
Agreed.
All right. Is that all for playoff talk, or do you guys
That's all
want
for
to
playoff talk in
you
my
want to give legit winners for each game? Just so we don't have to go too far in it. I can just give you the matchup, and you can guys just say the winner so that we can send them home with something else.
I agree.
All right. Seahawks Niners. I think the Niners, but it's like I've said, I think it's Seahawks are gonna make it a nail biter.
I agree.
I think it's gonna be within a touchdown.
Yeah, I could see that.
Can I will say if the Seahawks win on Saturday, that's the icing on the cake for the Seahawks year. They don't need to win the
Yeah.
Super Bowl. They just need to beat San Fran in the playoffs. We're all good.
And
All
they have
good.
like the fourth overall pick,
Fifth pick.
fifth pick.
Fifth pick. We beat Denver week 1 at home. We beat San Francisco in the playoffs. All
And
good.
and Geno set the passing record.
Yeah,
So
in one
Yeah.
season. That's incredible.
Chargers Jags.
Jags.
Fuck,
Kinda went over it.
I want to say the Chargers, but like Brandon Staley just sucks, man.
And like Mike Williams is hurt. Who knows how that'll play? Like
Yeah.
I like the Jags, but I can see this going any direction. I
Yeah.
honestly like Herbert could have one of his games where
Herbert
he
games.
just carries, and Eckler could have like a 3 touchdown performance where the Jags don't click offensively. It could be one of
Yeah.
those things. Miami Buffalo.
Buffalo,
I think Buffalo. Giants Vikings.
Vikings.
I think Vikings,
Who-
but I won't be surprised if Kirk does.
Just destroys himself, yeah.
Baltimore Cincy.
Cincy.
I think
Cincy.
I
Yeah.
think Cincy beats them there. And then Dallas, Tampa.
Tampa. I can't bet against Brady in the playoffs.
Yeah, until he beats me, I can't bet against Brady.
It's it's hard, and with the whole notion of Dallas in the first round, like the Maple Leafs, it's hard to predict him. And with Prescott, you see him in week 18, man, he did not play
Terrible.
good.
Terrible.
He's I like him, but like he's so frustrating.
Yeah. He's too inconsistent for his paycheck, in my opinion. But I think with Cowboys so hot and cold and Brady and the Bucs heating up right before playoffs, I think the Bucs win this game, especially at home too. But all right, that's NFL, NHL. Hayden, what's the game that we're playing this week for the peoples?
All right, boys. I'm gonna need y'all to get a NFL team generator on your phone or whatever device you're using, because this game is going to be a test of your knowledge of NFL and players by themselves. So we're gonna all have a position to fill, which will be 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, and a tight end. Let's say you spin the wheel, and I just spun the wheel right now, and I got Denver. I can take any player who played for Denver and another team, as long as they just played for that team. I can take them, and that'll be like the all-time touchdown score for them. So like a good one to do, I think, would be Terrell Davis.
Okay.
But other people may have different choices. Yes, Jeff.
Is it the amount of touchdowns they got with that team or touchdowns in their career?
Career. So like
Okay.
if it's Drew Brees, and you get the Chargers or the Saints, you can you take his 500 and whatever touchdowns.
Okay.
Everyone just tell me who you're picking. We'll go person by person. We'll see.
So
And then we'll go from there.
Ian's
is it-
question is: you said quarterback, running back, 2 wide receivers.
2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and a tight end.
Got it. Got it.
All right. So with
who's-
that,
I think respectable
Ian.
guest starts.
I agree.
First.
Okay. I'm using the word wall, by the way. That's what
Okay.
I'm going with.
I am as well.
Hit spin it. Spinning. It's spinning. It's spinning. Oh. Oh. Now the Las Vegas Raiders is who I got here. Not the Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh. There's so many people. And you can't search up. You have to go
I know,
with knowledge.
I know. I'm gonna go Randy Moss.
Okay. I would have gone Tim Brown, but that's just me.
Or even Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice. Yeah, fuck.
Jerry
That's
Rice
a
is-
fumbled bag.
Fuck.
Ooh. All right. Jeff, since it was my game, I'll go last. So you go second.
I got the NFL Spin the Wheel app. You can't really see on my camera here.
Yeah, classic.
same.
I
Jerry
look
Rice.
similar to what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
So spinning right now. So fun.
Okay.
So many colors. I got the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh fuck.
Um,
There's only one person I would take off the Baltimore Ravens.
now I'm scared that I'm not gonna pick the right one. I want to leave quarterback for a different team.
Yep.
My mind's blanking, but I'm gonna go Steve Smith.
That's exactly who I was thinking with.
Yeah, I'm going Steve Smith. I was really worried I was gonna make the wrong decision. Hayden was just gonna judge me, and I'd have to cut this part of the episode out.
Oh fuck. My camera does not want to be fun because I hooked it up.
I'll take your word for it, Hayden.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I'm spinning it right now, boys. It's spinning, it's zooming in, and I get the Buffalo Bills. Okay.
Nathan Peterman.
Fuck. I know Terrell Owens played for the Bills. So you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go
You could be really controversial and pick OJ Simpson.
Oh boy, yeah.
Cool
Yeah.
strategy, Cotton. Let's see how this plays out.
Fuck. Yeah, give
With
me
that blindfold on, he won't be able to see very well, Cotton.
Oh boy, that's
I might have to watch dodgeball tonight after
I
that.
might have to watch Dodgeball too.
All right, are we snaking it, Hayden, or are we going revert back to Ian?
Let's go back to Ian.
All right.
He's had some time to think.
So Ian's gonna spin here. Ian's wheel is spinning, and we're on the Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, you got a pick right there. Do you take quarterback or do you go
No.
running back?
Well, I mean, everybody loves Tony Romo, right? Like he's the guy when you think of Dallas. I'm gonna go with Emmitt Smith.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly what I was thinking of.
What is he, like, fourth all time in touchdowns or third all time or some shit?
Something
There was a guy yesterday at the Seahawks Rams game who was wearing an Emmitt Smith Cowboys jersey, and it's just like
I don't
okay.
get that. I don't get that.
Dude,
Like
so-
you have no blood in that game.
Well, like sidebar, dude. Yesterday I saw another guy wearing a Justin Tucker Ravens jersey. It's like that's random.
That's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
random.
That's like wearing like a Victor Oreskovich Canucks jersey. It's like, I'm surprised you know who he is.
Well, there's another guy who's like decked out in like full Giants gear, like Giants toque, Giants jersey, Giants sweater.
See,
and
I
it's
could
just-
get that because NFC. But like who buys a Justin Tucker jersey?
Yeah, that's
Like I
that's
get it,
wild.
he's like the best kicker all time, but I'm not
It's definitely,
spending
like-
$100 on a Tucker jersey.
Definitely like a fantasy football punishment or something, or like your fans on your Instagram page, they picked a jersey for you or some shit like that.
Yeah, that would be funny.
That's Justin Tucker is nobody's first choice. That's our takeaway
Yeah.
here.
All right.
Jeff spinning the wheel. It's going.
I got the Chiefs.
You're. I don't want to say what position's locked up.
So,
But-
like, I'm between two players here. Should I talk about it? I'm between quarterback and tight end. Do I go Tony G or Joe Montana? Couple different directions to go.
Gotta just make a
but-
choice, and I'm just gonna call it right or wrong.
But I think I'm gonna get a good quarterback, so I'm gonna go Tony G.
That's the right pick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Tony G. Second best tight end of all time.
Oof.
Oh, who's the first?
Antonio Gates.
It's Gronk, baby. It's Gronk.
All right,
Oh,
I'm
I thought,
saying-
I thought you were gonna say Heath Miller for a second there. I was worried.
Aaron Hernandez.
huge. I spun my wheel, boys, and I got the New York Jets. Give me
Zach Wilson.
LaDainian Tomlinson.
Good
Nice.
pick. Good pick.
Good pick. Good pick. Snaps for snaps.
Snaps.
All right. Big E is back on here. We're gonna spin here. We're spinning. We're spinning here. It takes a while to spin. New York Giants.
Ooh.
The
Too
New
bad
York
Sachs
Giants.
wasn't a part of this, or else he'd
Oh
take
no,
LT.
that defensive stats killer here.
Fuck, who do you even?
Eli Manning. Fuck it, Manningham down there somewhere.
I mean, that's not a bad decision.
It's
He's
not.
up there
I'm
in
just,
touchdown
I'm
pass.
trying. I'm literally trying to think of like the only notable Giants offensively are like Eli
Victor
Manning and Phil
Cruz?
Sims.
Victor
Not even Victor-
Cruz.
Like that's like a
Salta
punt on your
Cruz.
wide receiver position.
Yeah.
I'll go with Eli.
Yeah.
I'll go.
I think that's a respectable pick for touchdowns.
I agree.
I'm gonna look back on this later and be like, oh, this guy played for the Giants. Should have picked him. But like,
Every team after the Giants, though, you're gonna get the top touchdown passers in NFL history.
Of course.
yeah, I'm gonna get Tom Brady. I'm gonna get
Drew Brees.
Dan Marino.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, sweet, cool.
Love that. Thank you.
Love
All
the
right.
All right,
internet
Jeff.
sometimes.
Let's see who I get. I have to hold it at this angle or else you can't see. Oh no.
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oof.
David Garrard is still on the board.
Holy shit.
I don't.
Like,
Do I go like Maurice Jones-Drew?
what about
I don't.
AJ Green? No, AJ Green was not on. What am I saying right now?
Yeah, he was on
What
Cincy,
the
my guy.
fuck?
I don't know a lot of Jags players, if I'm being completely honest with you.
The two worst teams that you could get are the Jags and the Texans.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think I have to burn one of my running back spots, and I think I'll just go Maurice Jones-Drew because that's the best player I know from Jacksonville. I could be missing someone completely, but
I don't think you're missing a lot with MJD.
I'll just go Maurice
MJG is also
Jones-Drew.
at least a fun pick. Like he's actually like a
Yeah.
cool dude. Like at least he's a cool dude. Like yeah, like that's
Oh!
that's the
Did I miss someone, or who did you
No,
get?
I spun the. I'm sorry. No, keep going, Ian. Keep going.
I was just gonna say he's a fun guy. That's the only way you can justify that pick.
Can I search up Jaguars all-time
I
leader?
was gonna do. Yeah, it's MJD.
Is it?
81 touchdowns. Yeah.
All right.
There you
So
go.
there you
At
go.
least I made the wise choice.
You did. You did.
I wasn't
got-
gonna pick Blake Bortles. Like, I'm sorry,
No,
Blake.
no, not at all. It's considering your quarterback position is so vital. I got the Falcons. Like
Oh.
Jev, his tight end. Give me the best tight end ever. Give me Tony G. I'm sorry, but the Gronk and
Gronk's better.
I love the people who are
Alrighty.
trying to force Travis Kelce into that conversation. It's like, shut up. Your opinion doesn't matter. That's not true.
I mean, like, could be. He could be. Give it like 6 more years and another 4 rings for Kelsey.
Yeah.
All right, so we're spinning here. We're spinning again.
We're looking.
Spin cycle.
We're gonna. Oh, we weren't. I wanted to watch it before Ian did. Oh boy.
Houston.
Houston.
There's one person to go with, in my opinion.
That's Andre Johnson.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I can't think of any other. I mean, JJ Watt got a couple touchdowns. I'll go with
Indeed, Andre Johnson is.
JJ Watt's the fun pick. Make it fun. JJ Watt.
Well, Arian Foster.
He was good, but
I think it's Andre Johnson.
yeah.
Ooh.
All right. Let's see who I'm rocking and rolling with my fourth pick here. Started off hot with Steve Smith and Tony
I actually
G.
lied. D-Hop has more touchdowns than Andre Johnson.
Mm.
Damn. But
That
you already
makes
made your
sense.
pick. I'm sorry, Ian.
I got Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So
Oh no!
Oh wow!
I'm gonna-
I wonder who Jeff is gonna pick here.
I'm gonna go Julio No, I'm kidding. Thomas Brady. Tom
All
Brady.
right, yeah, that's a lock. I'm spinning right now. I got the Dolphins. Jesus Christ, I'm taking up the AFC East here.
Yeah.
Fuck the Dolphins. I mean, do I try and get like a better one? I don't really know another great running back or wide receiver on the Dolphins. I think I gotta go Dan Marino.
I think you do.
I
too.
think
Yeah.
you do too. You can't. It's hard. I know you want to try and fish for like a Brady or Breeze or something, but like you might
And
get stuck with a Blake Bortles or some shit like that.
Yeah, exactly.
You
I gotta
take
take.
Marino.
Yeah.
And Jay Cutler is very enticing, I know, but like you have to take Marino when you get the opportunity.
Yeah.
Also, Dan Marino's touchdowns are 420. So
Hayden wins.
I win.
Hayden wins.
All right.
Unless
Ian-
some touchdowns ends with 6-9.
6-9.
Okay, so Ian has a running back and a tight end still.
And let's see who you get.
Ian, you can't look until we see it first. Damn, your camera's fire.
Oh, you
Oh.
have your tight end position.
Tampa Bay.
Oh, so Rob Gronkowski.
There
Yeah.
you go.
The greatest tight end of all time.
All right, Jeff.
All right.
Could have also gone Antonio Brown, maybe.
Oh,
Is that Pittsburgh?
Yellow team. Oh, blue. Dolphins.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, what the fuck? They were the blue.
That that's like that game where it's just like say what this color is, and it's like green in like red font.
So
team.
I'm gonna go. Oh, there's a few different like receivers I can go with, but I think I'm gonna go Antonio Brown.
Let's see.
There's Hines
yeah.
Ward. There's like Hines Ward. There's a few different receivers I can go. I could have gone Le'Veon Bell, but I'm gonna go Antonio Brown.
Ooh.
I
I
mean,
mean, you went Brown, but it was Hines Ward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I mean, yeah, they were off by 3. So
it's not a huge drop off. It's not like 100 touchdown difference or some shit.
exactly. Oh, do you still have a running back position?
Yeah, so
Yeah, I was gonna say
Franco Harris.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you need a running back, Franco Harris would have been up.
I don't have a lot of knowledge on him, I'll be honest.
That's fair. So I'm spinning. Oh my God. I got the Minnesota Vikings. And I still have a wide receiver position. Oh, now it's who? Is it Carter or is it Moss?
Are we taking same players? Because I already took Moss.
I know, yeah, but I mean,
Well,
I took
me and
Tony
Hayden,
G.
yeah, me and Hayden both have Tony G.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna say Randy Moss. I think it's Moss, but
We'll find out here.
it could totally be fucking Carter, Chris Carter.
I think
All
Moss
right.
is all time.
We'll have to see. I'll see right
so
now.
Ian is we're spinning here.
Denver Broncos.
Denver
It was
Broncos.
indeed Moss.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
With that season in New England, he had like
18.
Yeah.
Denver Broncos. I'll go with Terrell Davis. Because I
Good
have
pick. Great pick.
I have a running back that spot that needs to be filled, and that rounds out my roster.
All right. I have a running back to fill.
Is that? I don't know who that is.
Minnesota Vikings.
Oh,
Ooh.
there you go.
Why
That
am
works.
I blanking on running backs right now? Oh, Adrian Peterson.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beauty. All right. My
I
last
guess running
pick.
back kind of worked out decently.
Yeah. It did for you. Okay. Maybe you guys can now see it. Kind of.
Oh yeah, I kind of see it. Yeah, there we go.
All right. We're going to do this together. Okay.
Okay.
Boom. Spin. Zooming in.
Yeah, that looks like the
Oh,
Packers.
the Packers. At running back. I mean,
AJ Dillon.
I think it's Ahmad Green, right?
There's gotta be somebody from like the '60s or whoever.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I'm gonna go with Ahmad Green.
All right, Ian, how about we start rounding out our rosters? What's your team looking like?
So my quarterback, Eli Manning.
And Hayden, we'll make a graphic on who won with the
Yes, we
most
will.
who has the most total touchdowns.
Quarterback, Eli Manning. My running backs are Emmitt Smith and Terrell Davis. Not too shabby at running back. Wide receivers are Randy Moss and Andre Johnson. And my tight end was Gronk.
There you go.
Pretty solid.
Also, I just want to say, yeah, Ian was right. From 58 to 66, Jim Taylor, 81 touchdowns, as opposed to Ahmad Green, 54. So fuck my life.
I wouldn't have guessed that it was Jim Taylor. I just knew in like the '60s the Packers would have had somebody who like.
That's so tough.
Hayden, do you want to go through your team or should I go?
You go through yours, team.
So at quarterback, I got Sir Thomas Brady. Running backs, I got Maurice Jones-Drew and Adrian Peterson. Wide receiver, I got Steve Smith and Antonio Brown. And tight end, I got Kansas City Chiefs. No, Kansas City Chiefs, Tony Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he played for the Chiefs. Yeah.
No, yeah, I didn't know like what
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They're both. For me, I got the Dan Marino quarterback. I got LT and Amon Green at running backs. My wide receivers are T.O. and Randy Moss. And then I as well have Tony G, Atlanta Falcons, Tony G. And that rounds out my team. This is actually going to be really close, I feel like.
All
So,
right.
yeah.
Let's see. Oh. So I think I made the right choice at running back because Adrian Peterson has 26 more career touchdowns than Franco Harris. So
There you go.
Adrian
Work it out.
Peterson has
There you go.
126 touchdowns. So
There you go.
not a terrible mistake that I made. But that about wraps up this very long episode of Left Side Heavy the podcast. Ian, thanks so much for coming on, my brother. You're always welcome on the show. It's been long overdue for you to make your return. Plug where people can find you.
You can follow me on Instagram at Ian McNaughton. We've been kind of inactive with SYP just because I have a full-time job in sports, which is crazy. But you can follow us at SYP Pod on Instagram as well. I think we're SYP Pod on Twitter as well. I haven't even been on Twitter in so long. It's been crazy, but follow me. Check out Jevin's stuff. Jevin's more active at doing this than I am, so you should really be following Jevin and what he's got going on. I'm just some dude who does game ops and wears glasses. That's all I am right now.
And manages the Toronto Maple Leafs.
And manages the Toronto Maple. You know what's funny is my hair, it doesn't look that great. It's fine, but it doesn't look that great. Did you see that Troy Terry video where he got announced from Troy Aikman that he was going to be an All-Star?
No, I actually haven't. Yeah.
He looks like he's balding, and he's born in '97. Like he's 2 years older than me, and the dude looks like he's got like a half bald going on. It's like, okay, my hair isn't that bad. At least I'm not balding yet.
Well, that's like Austin Matthews. He has some of the worst hair in the league. Like that hairline
Awful.
is pushing back for how young he is.
Yeah,
Agreed.
Yeah.
pretty
But
bad.
Hayden, where can the people find you?
At Hayden_Barton on Instagram and Twitter, and at HBart13 on TikTok.
You can follow myself on Instagram at Jevon.Lefave, on Twitter at JevonLefave. Find everything for the show on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at LeftsideHeavy_. Subscribe to the YouTube Left Side Heavy for full episode pods, and rate and review us anywhere you get your podcast. It helps grow the show. Ian, once again, thank you so much for coming on. Good luck to your Seahawks this weekend. Shout out Geno Smith. He still has yet to write back. So shout out to him. And we will see you guys next time for episode 143. Peace out. Love y'all. Let's ride.